Greetings, this is Freener Reuniventra, the half-elven YouTuber, coming to you with another reaction of D&D. Returning back to the Dungeon Dudes Drakkenheim campaign. We find as I'm just going to call them the Ghostly Three, establish reclaiming their member Veo's old hangout in the clock tower. Her reclaiming it from some harpies. But you know what? They do recap themselves, so I'll let them handle any other details and stuff. As with my other reaction videos, the content I'm watching is not my own. I do not own nor am I associated with the Dungeon Dudes channel or its content beyond being a fan. Anything else? And that I cannot think of anything else, so let's dive into tonight's episode, The Corpse Soul. Are they going back to the slaughterhouse? There's a metal homicidal giant undertaker there. Or why would they go back so soon? I think they only just got to level 5. They make like the 2 martial class will get their extra attacks. Will get can attack twice in a round, or basically one action. And so they can get that power boost. For Vario 3 times if it's the first round. But still, why would they go there? Let's find out.
Good evening and welcome to Drakkenheim. This is our weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game with the Dungeon Dudes. That's me, Dungeon Master Monty Martin.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, and I'm going to be playing Sebastian Crow, the half-elf shadow sorcerer. And we're joined today by my good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Beosenia, the Tabaxi Gloomstalker Ranger.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Pluto Jackson, the human battlemaster.
When last we left our heroes, they had ventured deep into the ruins of the city, indeed to the very heart of Drakkenheim, the market square where the great astrological clock tower still stands, silent for almost 111 years. This clock tower was once the sanctum of Beosenia, our Tabaxi Gloomstalker, and after a deadly battle against the Harpies, which had seized the clock tower and slaying the vicious Harpy overlord known as the Red Dot. Our heroes have claimed the clock tower of Drakkenheim for their own. This mysterious and ancient building, its front facade marked not only just with the clocks that tell the time and date, but the position of the celestial spheres and even the very planes of existence themselves.
Yeah.
Inhabited by strange creatures that speak only in zeros and ones on the lower level.
Monodromes.
The upper area of the clock tower is now kind of the loft of our heroes. And as you look out over the corpses of the Red Dot and her cockatrice pets, the surviving pigeons, which Veo once kept up here, and the great windows which overlook the city as the sun begins to set and darkness takes over Drakkenheim, you have a wonderful view of the entire city, and indeed, the whole lay of the land for miles around. What do you do?
I look at it.
No, shield your eyes, Pluto, from this beauty.
Well, I think while you're looking out the window, I'm kind of like grabbing the dead corpses and like shoving them down through the door to.
It's called a corpse hole now.
Yeah, got to put these in the corpse hole if we're gonna live in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we gotta
Up a
really.
little bit.
I'm
tidy
maybe
up.
wrong.
I mean, do I throw them out the door? Do I put them out the window?
Do we just throw them off the edge?
Do
Is
we
that-
have
Is that okay?
Do we have like a bonfire on the lower levels? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
How far away
Inside
is
first.
the big corpse machine? Can we throw them into the?
Oh, that's
they're
too
a bit
far.
further
That's a
down.
little far.
just give it a good.
Okay. I was wrong.
Just
So
a-
what
just a
the
good
hell's
throw.
gonna happen?
Pluto
this
grabs
episode?
one of the cockatrice bodies, hucks it.
Yeah.
Off the edge.
I'm sorry, they don't have to do it. They just have to throw the
Make a
corpse
strength
in, and
check.
they should. And it should take care of the rest.
Rolled, 20.
You huck the body of the cockatrice, and it begins soaring through the air, and its wings open up, and it begins to glide forward
That's how you throw a
before
spiral, kids.
landing out of sight. Indeed, as you look out over the city, the city itself, as the sun begins to set, you can see the rooftops poking through the mist. The streets of Drakkenheim itself, from this high, you can see just how much the haze chokes over the streets of the city. Here and there, the tallest buildings in the city pop up through the mist, giving you a pretty good sense of the way the streets are laid out. But it's almost a twisted pattern, like a broken mirror across the whole cityscape. The mist recedes and hovers over the Dran River, so you can very clearly see where the river is. And you can look across and almost see that the mist itself is almost pooling in the city walls, like a thick pea soup. But a pea soup that is being drained or swirling around a drain. Because as you look to the south, you can see the Great Crater, which is scarring the southern ward of the city. This crater is impossibly deep because it only dives down into blackness. Even from this height, looking down across the river and into the old industrial district of Drakkenheim, how deep this crater could be, you cannot see the bottom. As you survey the rest of the city, you can see the remains of the market square, the shattered tower of the Mage Guild to the north, and almost at eye level with the rest of the clock tower is the towers and spires of the castle. The clock tower is not quite the highest building in Drakkenheim. That honor goes to the Mage Guild's tower, which is twice the height of the clock tower. The castle, though not as tall as the clock tower itself, because it rests on the high hill and the cliffs, rests higher geographically than the
Look
clock
up D&D
tower itself
Beyond.
does.
I usually need
Other buildings
Oh,
that
or we
rival
had
the
a-
clock tower in the height are the Grand Cathedral of St. Vitruvio, several of the other chapels and churches throughout the city, some of the other nobles' estates, and of course the high watchtowers around the city. But it's an amazing vantage point, and you think, looking out, as you look out into the distance, you can even see Emberwood Village far in the distance. You can see the Eckerman Mill. It's a speck, but it's out there. And another very curious sight, south of the Eckerman Mill, along the Temple Road leading into the city, you can see what looks like a large encampment forming. It almost looks like a military campsite. Great bonfires are burning in the distance.
Oh,
there,
they're Caspian
parked on the
banners.
side of the river.
That doesn't bode well for things I've seen around the city.
What, campfires?
Lots of campfires together? No.
I mean, there's a lot of groups in the city. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Maybe it's just a big fire. I shouldn't have said anything. I immediately Pluto goes back to looking at the window.
Pluto Jackson, looking at it, You see this. It looks like a military encampment.
Oh yeah, that's just based on my experience being in the military and killing big things. I can tell you that that's just a bunch of people in the military. That's the military. That over there, right? Can you see it?
Yes.
Do you see it? Look over here.
Oh, over there. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
gee, look at it.
I was looking at the crater.
I know. Just watch me.
And I was
watch
like,
what
Pluto,
I'm
that's
saying.
not.
Watch
Okay,
what I
sorry.
say,
Where are
do
you
it.
pointing?
You right there. Right there.
Oh, yeah, the campfires that we were just talking about.
that one. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's military. I know
Yeah.
that because I was in the military.
Thank you so
Mil-
very, very much.
Military around here means war, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
Oh,
Does it look like Caspian military? I mean, can you tell?
Um,
Do you have different types of fires from other military?
well, it's not me, so, and I'm pretty much the Caspian military.
What about Jupiter?
Oh yeah, Jupiter. Darn Jupiter. Man, now you bum me out.
Oh, sorry. Back.
If it is Jupiter Jones'
Yeah, yeah.
encampment, then the number of men that he had when you encountered him in Emberwood Village would have been but a fraction of his total forces. Judging by the size of this encampment, possibly over 100 people could be camped there.
How well can you communicate with your pigeon friends?
Oh, I can communicate with them pretty well.
Could they do a flyby of that encampment?
I could, yeah. Well, let's go
Ooh.
talk to them. So I mean, I should talk to them. It's been a while since I've seen them. Stupid birds. I walk over to the cage where my pigeons generally hang out, and I'm like, Pesto, come here.
They're cooing very loudly.
Listen. Okay, I don't need no attitude from you. I get it. I've been gone for a while. Sounds like you've been taken care of a little bit. I mean, you're missing a couple pigeons here, so I'm sorry about your comrades, but
How many were there?
no need for that sass. We had about 7 or 8. No,
3 survived. That's
we 3.
not bad.
That's not
Yeah.
bad. That's not
My
Better than
favorite
Pluto
one
did.
survived,
Way better than
right,
mine.
Bobby? Yeah.
Oh.
All right, and I cast Speak with Animals, and I talk to. I'm gonna talk to Squid. He's the most
Okay.
intelligent one,
Squid says,
most amiable.
"You're back. Did you bring food?"
What do you think, Squid? Of course, I brought food, and I take a little bit of the ration that I had, and I feed him a couple crumbs of it.
The pigeons furiously flock towards the food, scarfing it down at breakneck speed, as pigeons are wont to do.
Yes.
A short while later, once they seem satisfied, although they keep looking at you like, more? Everyone's hungry in this city.
You'll get more, Squid, but first I need you to do something for me. I need you to take a flyby of that. You see those really bright lights over there? And I bring them over to the window and I point.
He says, yes.
All right, tell me what you see, and you'll get cheese.
And the pigeon flies out,
Send them off.
making for the encampment further away.
It's military. I yell at him. I don't know if I.
He probably can't understand what you're saying.
Woo! Oh, it's an owl.
It will probably be a few hours before he gets back.
Okay.
The rest of you have continued to stuff the bodies of the harpies down the corpse hole.
Or off the corpse ladder.
As you throw them down to the lower deck, you can hear the strange creatures down there go, 01, 01!
Oh,
and
I
you hear them start to pull them away and throw them out the window.
Not out the window!
I would love to go down to that floor and just like hang out with these 01 people.
Sure.
I'm just taking notes.
On the lower level with all the machinery, there are several of these strange creatures that resemble spheres of metal with spindly little machine-like legs and arms and little feathered wings, and they have a large central eye that instead of being made of metal is made of flesh, as are this porthole where their mouth is, which is an oversized, fleshy mouth. They have many monocles over their eyes. There are several that look like two cubes stacked on top of each other instead. And it looks like the cube ones, after a while, you can see the cube ones are ordering around the spheres. And judging by what they're doing, it looks like they're trying to fix the clock tower. And once in a while, the cubes, after about an hour, several of the cubes go together up to that strange obelisk where the burnt-out pyramid-looking one is standing. And they go up to the pyramid, and they start saying 01, 0001, and standing at attention as if they're giving it a report. And and they stand there waiting for a reply for about half an hour before they shrug and walk back and continue bossing around the spheres.
Oh no, they've lost their commander.
Oh.
I now have a plan to wear this pyramid at some point and learn their language, and then I will become ruler
Of the 0.
of the 01.
As Veo and Sebastian tend to their menageries, what do you do, Polito?
I actually want to join Sebastian, and I want to just scour the room for like a manual or any type of documentation found in this machine area.
Mm-hmm. How you want to spend the rest of the evening searching around, or do you just
I want to
spend a
look
bit
for
of time?
because I'm as interested as Sebastian how these things work.
Maybe as interesting.
Maybe pale in comparison. I want to see if there's like some old notes scribbled down, like instructions.
It is late into the evening when you find piled up underneath some of the old furniture upstairs, as you're tidying out Veo's area as well, you find several old papers. They're crumbling with age, but it appears to be a stack of letters, several of them addressed to the old clockmaster. They are all written in the same hand, and they are dated about 40 years ago.
That's big.
And the letters, reviewing them, it's a while to read through these letters. So this is the high level gist.
Is
of
that
it.
just because reading is hard for me, or is it just generally there?
There's a lot of them.
Okay.
There's quite a stack of them. The letters seem to catalog an exchange between the clockmaster and members of the Mage Guild, questioning why these creatures showed up about 40 years ago and trying to determine what they might be doing themselves. Explaining, and there's one reply that says to the clockmaster, see that this clock is powered by a mechanist chain. And since the chain has failed, these creatures, known as Modrons, have come to repair it. But whatever's happened to their leader means that they might never be able to do it. And the trailing letters explain that this is a little bit beyond the expertise of the current members of the Mage Guild, and that it's just a clock, basically. And the Mage Guild, the correspondence ends with a little bit of passionless disinterest from what seems to be a representative of the Mage Guild saying, we don't really care enough to fix this thing. It's signed a variety of names. The last name that is signed on it, and the majority of them that appear to have been addressing these letters, seem to be coming from a woman by the name of Lenneth Eventide.
Old Lenneth.
And that's from the Mage Guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at these. Look at these letters. I read them all by myself, and they're full of interest.
Could I mean, thank you for reading those. With this new information, could I head over to the triangle-shaped one and start? I'd like to examine it to see what the level of damage on it is.
Yeah. Are you reading the letters?
He's reading them and giving me the gist of it, I assume.
Okay. Yeah, he lets you know. What do you tell Polito? What do you tell Sebastian?
Well, it's pretty complicated. But this is a big clock tower,
Go on.
and these guys here, they're called Modrons or
Modrons.
Modis, for short.
Modis. Thank you.
And they are trying to fix it.
Gathered that, yes.
Now I'm looking
anything
at the dates here. This is about 40 years ago.
Okay.
40.
And by the looks of it, the triangle one here was in charge, but he seems badly damaged.
Who done it? It's a who done it
Is the,
in the clock
like
tower.
the triangle obelisk? Does it have like somewhat of an eye like the other ones, or no?
the obelisk itself, no, it looks completely different from these
The
creatures.
triangle creature was reaching for the obelisk.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If I examine the triangle creature, how damaged is it? Like, does it look like I might be able
Is
to
it
repair
dead
it?
for 40 years?
Do you reach out to touch it? How do you examine it?
Oh.
Do you want me to shoot it to try to knock it away?
I touch it.
The points where you touch it disintegrate at your touch.
Oh no! I stopped touching it.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It judging again, going by Paluto's secondhand description of the letter, it seems like these creatures showed up about 40 years ago. The first one amongst them promptly exploded, and they've been failing to fix the clock tower ever since.
Well, we'll leave that mystery for another day.
Yeah, what's gonna like?
I really want this clock tower fixed now, and I want to get to know these little things.
Yeah, but they've been here longer than all of us.
They just go about their business.
It's
I kind of been ignoring them for years. They don't seem to mind.
Where are we sleeping? Like you have a nice bed.
Well, I mean, if you
I-
call a bed full of harpy feathers and probably
Hey, you guys
excrement.
could have kept the harpy feathers to use as down.
Oh,
It's just bad
Oh, well.
memories. Bad
actually-
memories.
this is important. I did collect some of the harpy feathers because I do want to bring them back to my family.
Okay.
But then we're also gonna make our way down the corpse hole and the windows. Let's find some of those harpies and
Oh, you
steal
could
their
collect
feathers.
their feathers, yeah.
With the supplies that Veo has here and what the harpies had in their nests, you can certainly cobble together some makeshift beds. It's not comfortable, but it's way better than a campsite.
There you go.
I'll take it.
Nice.
First order of business, though, is renovations, and I would like a nice queen-size bed at some point.
With that, do you all want to take your long rest now?
Yeah.
Okay. And as part of your long rest, you've also all attained 5th level.
Woo, woo, woo!
So do we want to tell the stream
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
what you've all gained with your new
Extra time.
level up?
Oh yes, I'll go first. I gained. Oh, so excited. A extra attack. So I now get to take 2 shots when I have the attack action on my turn, and then I also got a spell called Rope Trick, which I'm very excited to use.
5th level's a huge level for rangers. You get a second attack and second level spells.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Did you learn any other spells this level?
No. Oh, actually, I did actually pass without trace. Oh, pass without trace. Oh,
Dun, 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 dun.
so excited.
Okay. Sebastian, how about you?
So I got the ability to cast 3rd level spells, and shockingly did not take the one I planned to take, which
What
was
did you choose?
I was going to take Fireball, but I was very interested in Hypnotic Pattern and Thunderstep.
Okay.
Thunderstep is
Oh,
a favorite
yeah.
of mine recently, and Hypnotic Pattern I've never actually cast before, and I'm very excited to try it out because the implications of it are
Yeah.
wondrous.
I feel like stealth officers are
Alright.
more important in the city.
And I can hit
There's
things
so many
twice
things
now.
than just one good shot.
Pluto Jackson has extra attack, but I also found, and well,
The man
repurposed
Thunderstep isn't
Red
stealthiest, but
Dot's
the sound it
javelin.
makes.
So I'm looking
Right.
forward to
Mm.
throwing that like I do the chickens into somebody.
Sounds great. The other find that you found. So that is a Javelin of Lightning.
Mhm.
Where the red dot got this thing from, no idea. It is a beautiful white oak javelin with a mithril tip.
Fancy.
She probably
Mhm.
stole it. Let's be honest.
And she's
Yeah.
and then I saw.
And on the side of it is engraved in Elven the words lightning. But as far as what the past of this might be, and what this thing is, not sure. But when you throw it and you hurl it and you say lightning in Elven, it turns into a bolt of lightning.
Do you know Elvin?
Do you?
What?
I'll
What's
spend,
this say?
I'll spend a little bit of time and I sit down with you and I teach you the pronunciation of the word. Also seems very on the nose. It's it says lightning. You say lightning and it anyway.
It's a very specific type of Elven dialect, though. It refers to the lightning that specifically struck at this certain mountain in the world, which is way on the other side of the world. Like, it's
Obviously.
huge Elven history. It's very, very subtle. I mean, how do you know Elven is a half elf?
Yeah,
But how did you learn Elven?
my mom.
But she died when
You're
you
right.
were born.
That's a plot point. How did I learn Elven?
Yeah,
I just
was
know it.
homeschooled. Wait.
Wait a second.
You study as a
learned it from the
Garen.
Mage Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh, this is really upsetting now. Now I'm trying to think of like
Maybe you learned
obviously my
certain-
mom taught me. Wait, my
certain
mom died
spell
when I was born.
languages that you would have learned.
I sought out to learn it because I wanted to read my mom's old journals
Aww.
to know more
yeah.
about her.
That's nice.
And the Mages Guild helped me learn as well.
Well, then it's relevant to mention this handwriting in some of these letters is your mom's.
What?
What?
I can't believe that you this handwriting in some of these letters is your mom's.
What?
What?
I can't believe that you realize that I said it was signed Lenneth Eventide.
You wrote it down.
Wait, did I?
You wrote down Levin.
Yeah.
I didn't know
oh
that was
my
your
God,
mom.
I forgot.
I didn't know that was your mom.
Guys, I forgot my own backstory. Going into my notes. Cool.
No, so rewind a little bit. Hey,
Yeah.
this signed by someone called Lenneth Eventide.
It seems important now. What? What do you mean it was signed by...
Maybe he didn't tell you.
Give me those. Oh my God. I recognize this handwriting anywhere.
Wait.
I've read her journals.
This
Wait,
one's
are the letters written in Elvish or no?
No, they're written in common.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the handwriting is
Yeah.
the same. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is my mom. Wait, why was...
Is your mom part of the guild?
Was she the clockmaster? Or no, she's
No.
part of the guild.
She was part of the guild? I didn't know that.
Your dad has some splaining to do.
Uh-oh.
Why didn't he tell you that your mom was part of the guild?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the guild just kind of showed up and took me away, and we didn't really talk about my mom much. It was kind of not a happy subject in my household.
Yeah, but I'm even thinking when we came back, he could have been like, hey, the guild, your mom.
I mean, I would like to ask him about that, but let's be honest, there was a lot going on. He hadn't seen me in
That's true.
15 years.
More so
Siblings.
than that, but no one in the
Yeah.
guild ever told you that either.
River has some explaining to do.
They all got some
okay,
explaining to
River
do.
was
Use
a
them
recruit at
to,
the same time
like,
as me.
even
We're the
pick
same.
fights.
So
These things
Who's
are
your
not
who's your master?
made to last.
his name was
I'm sorry to say, but it's true.
Eldrick.
Eldrick.
Eldrick has some
If you
splaining.
want something
Yes,
more
he
loud,
does.
Eldrick has
I would
some
recommend the
splain.
joy.
There, we got to it. Eldrick has some splaining
Somebody
to do.
better explain this.
Someone
Don't
better.
speak him in future videos.
Okay,
y'all got
is that how Vale
splaining.
says explain? Is that now
Yeah.
part of this?
Yep.
All right.
I learned that when I was growing up on the streets.
Not only was my mom part of the Mages Guild, but she was actively trying to get this clock tower repaired. It seems.
Well, the letters that she wrote, unfortunately, are the very terse ones, saying like that
Ooh.
she seems to be writing the ones that are sorry, we can't handle this for you anymore.
She didn't want the
Oh,
clock
she was
tower.
the dismissive one.
Yeah.
Disinterested.
Mom, but they're so interesting.
I about the clock tower. Was it stuck? What was the planar ones that it stuck on? Like, what's the time it stopped?
Pandemonium and Limbo. It's
Pandemonium.
between Pandemonium and Limbo.
Because maybe that has something to do with when it stopped. Maybe we could figure out. I mean, I
This
couldn't,
thing,
but
this
you
is
could.
way
I might be able
before.
We might be able to
So
ask
I'm not sure
them
it'll have
if
anything to
there's
do with the
something
meteor,
they
which
can-
is the more.
Yeah, like if there
Or
was
maybe it
somebody
will.
researching it, maybe there's a conspiracy cover up.
Potentially.
Or maybe it's just a boring clock tower. It's also
Could
just
be.
could be a boring clock tower that stopped working and no one wanted to fix it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's very much the tone of the letters towards the end.
and I agree with your mom. Yeah, this is boring. This is a boring clock tower.
Well, I'm interested, and I'm more interested now. Do you mind if I hang on to these letters?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Mom memorabilia.
I mean, I don't have much. I have her journal and these letters, and that's about it.
It's cool.
And her elven.
Words.
You have her words.
True.
Her heritage.
But it's worth noting as well that not only did your father never tell you, your colleagues at the Mage Guild never told you. Nothing in the journals that you ever read mentioned her being a mage.
Wait,
Dun dun dun.
but I was seen as like everybody frowned upon my magical powers, but she had them all the whole time, and nobody thought to bring that up. Everybody was busy picking on me and beating me up, and nobody decided to tell me, "Hey, you know what? It runs in the family."
Oh, great.
Maybe nobody knew.
Oh, great. He's Naruto.
Hmm.
No one
There's
tells
so
him
many
about his
questions.
lady.
We should turn on detective
No one gives a
mode.
shit about him. About his
I
I
important
think she
stuff,
should have at
family
least
stuff.
prepared your father for that possibility, though. Maybe she
I
did.
mean, I don't think she planned to die in childbirth.
What if your father doesn't even know?
Maybe he doesn't.
It's very
Explaining.
well. Somebody got to explain.
Why do you guys say it like that?
Well,
It's
now you know
I
what
picked it up
does.
from
You have
Vale.
information, something to
If
talk
it's
to the
any
river about.
consolation, the letters are dated about 40 years ago. So they're probably
young.
even well before your parents met.
Secret history.
Yeah.
I got some investigating to do.
Mm-hmm.
Make
So-
people explain.
As the evening passes, Phil, despite this interesting conversation, if you have any more questions for me, if you want to review, I assume you spend some more time reading the letters, a little bit more detail.
I imagine us like sitting around a little fire, and I'm telling them stories about what I read in my mom's journal, what I remember about her, which isn't much because literally she died in childbirth. But you know, I tell them of the stories that I read about and the stories that my father told me.
Periodically, you just hear me mumble, explain it. Explain it.
I want to do like a safety check of your tower, like a routine, like checking for pillars that will just fall, where there's ins and outs,
Securing the facilities.
yeah,
For the evening.
like doing my spot checks.
Absolutely. Is there anything specific that you'd like to be watching out for that you'd like to fortify or
Like
attend to?
like is there any easy access other than the doorway, and our rope?
The windows go all the way up.
Okay.
So flying creatures can easily access this building.
Because it's all open and up
Yeah.
top, right?
Oh,
But from the ground, there's just the main set of doors. There is an outbuilding that's attached to the clock tower. There's a few outlying structures that are kind of part of the overall clock tower area and the part of the plaza that looks out over Market Square. But by and large, this is a standalone building.
I'm satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, for years I didn't really have anything go on until, I mean, one day there was harpies when there wasn't, but other than that, I had a really good, long run here without trouble.
And especially now that the bottommost staircase has been taken out by the bells, it means that even getting up to the upper levels on foot requires rope and grapple hooks or some sort of ladder to be set from up above. So if you pull that ladder up without any access from the first floor to the second level gallery from the ground floor, creatures would need to either fly or jump or run a rope or throw some sort of grapple hook to get up to the second level. So that means that you'll have to use a rope to get in and out as well.
I'm ready to rest.
Okay.
Mhm.
The evening passes. Sebastian has terrible nightmares. Just terrible nightmares. He screams basically all night.
Sorry, guys.
Is it annoying?
Cobras! Cobras!
It's
In the middle of the night, I take one of the pillows that hasn't been destroyed, and I just stick it up.
Are you smothering me?
Not smothering. But I'm like,
I approve.
just I need to get some sleep. Shh.
Oh my god.
And then it's just
But
you hear
make
the
sure you can
muffled,
breathe.
the muffled.
Yeah, exactly.
No, what am I dreaming about?
you're dreaming about being eaten by a horrible dog.
Oh.
Is it the dog that I've had nightmares about several times?
bad dog,
He's eating you.
bad doggy,
Sorry.
bad dog.
Dog! It's the hound!
Yeah, he's in the dream. You are being chased through your childhood home by this dog.
And again.
Please, dog.
And I'm
What's
crying
the
for my
again?
Mom.
And at the
Mom.
end of the dream, it catches you and drags you into the crater.
I wake
That
up.
dog's
I'm
got
like,
some splendid.
Dog!
Put your pillow over your face.
Yeah, there's a pillow on my face. Okay, who tried to kill me last night?
Well, I didn't press down.
The really
with the
horrible
pillow.
thing about the dream is that the dog actually eats half of your body and then drags your still living torso across the countryside before dumping you in the crater.
by your spine.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I had the dream again.
Nah,
Oh,
you should probably not eat before bed.
yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah, yeah. You.
Just give me your food before bed,
yeah,
and
you
it's
shouldn't
fine.
be eating that late.
I mean, just because I was eating while sleeping doesn't mean that that's the source of my nightmares.
We've been with you long enough that I think we're the experts on this. We even have your smothering pillow ready at at all times.
It's just like a padded rucksack.
And I just look over at Beo and I just nod and she
You think back to the time that you criticized Sebastian's father for locking him in the basement, but now you completely
Ooh.
understand.
You-
Vale.
I mean, levels up. It's
I
gotta be
understand.
you have a lot of
very
empathy
No,
for your
listen.
dad.
I mean, he didn't.
subclass
Okay, I don't know.
feature.
Maybe he did try to use a pillow first, and then got to a point where maybe you
Well,
almost got smothered. So that's what the basement was.
I'm just saying, you need to be careful with the pillow approach because
Can we have you? You can sleep with the robots next time. If you're gonna keep having nightmares, sleep with the robots.
they're so
They may
loud.
actually smart.
Oh yeah, that must be annoying.
Partway through the night, you take him down to the robots, and then in the morning, you find that the robots have put him down the level below.
Thanks, guys. God, robots.
Guys, I'll just set up my bed three levels lower. I'll just have my night terrors in
Just-
peace.
You know what? No. We just you can breathe through your nose, so we'll just put a gag in your mouth and just sleep.
Yeah,
It's fine. You can breathe still. Yeah.
Ah, this reminds me of initiation in the Amethyst Academy.
Yeah.
What? Anyway.
Anyways,
Next
come the morning,
level.
after
Restful
making
sleep.
a small breakfast of harpy eggs. I guess.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fry them up. How big are they're pretty big, right?
We only have 2.
Okay, but if they're like, are they bigger or smaller than ostrich eggs?
They're like ostrich eggs.
That's an ostrich egg.
Okay,
we can split
we'll
that
eat
up.
one. I'm bringing this one back.
Okay.
to
Okay.
Emberwood.
We eat the other one, but we make like
Yeah.
scrambled eggs out of it, so there's enough
Yeah.
for all of us.
Yeah.
I
Good.
wonder if anyone's keeping a catalog of the number of acts of cannibalism that have occurred in this campaign.
I haven't eaten any humans, for the record. Are they half? Is
I
half
have.
humans still count?
Are harpies, like, if we eat a harpy egg, is that...
Is that
They're not
it's
human.
like- let's
Birds-
save that
sorry.
debate for the internet.
Cats eating birds is fine. No,
Okay.
I also eat a little bit. Like I'm trying to savor it, but a little bit of that candied salmon to treat myself for.
Has it not gone bad yet?
As you
Okay.
finish your breakfast, your pigeon friend returns.
That's so.
I was starting to wonder
And
if he had been made
After
into a
having
pigeon
had
pie
to
by the soldiers.
Speak with animals again. Squid says, "Where's my breakfast?"
Be like, I'll give you some of this salmon if you tell me what you found out.
Deal. Anyways, for you to give him the salmon.
You gotta tell me what you found out.
After a little bit of a back and forth, he divulges and says in his pigeony sort of way, he says, "There are many men wearing shining metal on their hats, and they have very sharp swords
Mm-hmm.
and very, very big pieces of wood that they're carrying on their arms, and horses. So many horses."
Can you see colors?
We'll say yes.
Yeah. Okay. What colors were they?
They were in silver and gold.
That's not Caspian.
Okay. And did they look like they were preparing anything?
Oh, they were preparing dinner. I got to eat a ton of bread.
Oh,
It was great.
that's awesome.
That's why I'm so late. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I understand.
Then one of them tried to eat me, so I ran away.
Oh,
Ah,
good,
there
good.
it
Yes,
is.
we don't want them eating pigeon for breakfast. And good job. And I give him a little bit of the salmon.
Yeah, he says they had dogs, they had horses, and there were many men, some women too, and they had hats made of metal, and big wooden planks, and sharp metal talons. And there were like more of them than I've seen feathers fall off my wing. There were so many.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for flying out there. I'm glad you got a little bit of a treat while you were there, but I'm glad you're back safe and sound. I missed you. All right. So, after conversing with my fine feather friend over here, we have an army, essentially. Sounds like soldiers.
Military.
Military, yeah, for
Yeah, I
sure.
knew that.
Designated military wearing gold and silver.
Who's that?
Would I know what this sounds like?
This would be the Silver Order.
Sounds like the Silver Order. Paladins.
Hey, I mean,
And
So-
where they're just outside of...
the
They're amassing along Temple Road.
gate with the knolls.
I mean, that could be helpful.
Could be, yeah.
I
mean,
like paladins.
If they get
course, I
into a
mean,
big fight
don't.
with Knowles, that
No,
may
why not?
take a while.
Mm. I mean, I deal in a lot of unholy magics at times, and me and paladins haven't always seen eye to eye on the way I go about my business.
They're a bit pushy. I get that. I've kind of come across them a couple times, kind of seen them out in the streets. They're not the friendliest bunch.
Yeah, we're not enemies exactly. It's more just like we just don't go about things in the same way.
Fundamentals differ.
Yeah, so conversations tend to be, sometimes we're working towards the same goals, but we tend to argue about how to get there is the main problem. So it could be helpful if they take out a bunch of gnolls.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just trying to make their way into the city. I mean,
What would the paladins want in the city?
it's a good question. I don't know what they exactly want, but it'd be good to find out.
The only thing that you know is that the Silver Order is the military arm of the silver, of the worship of the silver fire, or the sacred flame. And they are based in the neighboring nation of Illyria. So this order is not of Drakkenheim. They're foreigners. But the worship of the sacred fire was the dominant religion in Drakkenheim, and there are many holy sites here in the city.
Maybe they're trying to stake their claim on Drakkenheim. It seems in the fall of the city, a bunch of neighboring cities, neighboring,
Yep.
are trying to make their own marks.
Sharpening my sword.
It's like everybody's trying to stake their claim here in the city, and some of us are just trying to survive. But there's a lot of rivaling factions around. It can make things difficult for those just trying to survive.
Well, at least we own a small part of it now. With your
Can you get some well, the side fixings? Is there, well, maybe. Also, can you get some honey? Yeah. What? 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 I don't think I no. I don't know that. Oh.
your beautiful tower.
So now that you've staked your claim in the city, what will you do next yourselves?
It might be worth making sure that, like, Pluto's got this idea that, we could start to slowly make our way out around the tower, clear out the buildings around it, or
Oh, you want to deal with the corpse collector again?
just, just to make sure we have safety in the tower area.
Can explore a little bit. It doesn't hurt, but I think we also need to figure out potentially a way out
Yeah,
as well.
our way into the city was not the greatest. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to go trudging through the sewers, dealing with the fish folk and a giant mechanic. Yeah, that's the word. Mech monster who is collecting corpses and almost murdered me by touching me with a soul. So there's got to be a better way for us to get in and out of the city, and I think if we can find that way, it might be helpful.
Well, and it's also great, like, I wouldn't stay here in the tower long term, though. That's the only thing, is as much as it's above the city, we're going to run out of rations pretty quick, so we definitely need a way in and out to be able to resupply and have at least this as a place where we can come and go if we need to stake in the city.
This is like our base when we have a mission inside the city, but Amberwood Village is much safer.
Maybe it's like a
Definitely.
campground. It's like our favorite camping
Yeah.
spot.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
So we could go back through the sewers.
I think, what do we know? Okay, here's some options that I'm seeing. The paladins of the Silver Order are seemingly gathering on Temple Road outside Temple Gate, which is overrun with gnolls. So that's a very dangerous gate to look at. There is the Shepherd's Gate, which is being commanded by the Hooded Lanterns, which we still have an in with because we did save one of them.
What was her name?
Petra.
Petra.
There is also we do technically have an inn with Champions Gate, right? That's
Yes.
that's with the
Cult of the Falling Fire.
cult of, or they don't like the word cult.
The
Oh,
only
sorry.
thing to be aware of with Champions Gate, just to survey the land, if we pull up our map, Champions Gate is to the south. It offers the most direct access to Emberwood Village. However, moving between Champions Gate and the clock tower would require you to go right past the crater.
Yeah.
Going down, and that's Champions Gate is at Champions Way, so that's number 5 on your map. The other gates at Temple Road and Kings Road, those gates are currently occupied allegedly by monsters of some kind, as is possibly as well the Market Gate. All of them appear to be in control of some form of terrible creature. The only gates that are the only gate that's really reliably accessible is the Champion's Gate, which is controlled by the followers of the Falling Fire, and the Shepherd's Gate, which is controlled by the Hooded Lanterns, because that's where their barracks is. So if you're looking for cutting a deal, Champion's Gate and Shepherd's Gate are your options. The other ones would require, if you're considering the other gates of the city, none of those things are impossible, just you're looking at a fight.
I think given the location of the crater, although I am very interested in finding out what that crater is all about at some point, right now is not the time because we're trying to secure safe passage. Our best bet might be the Hooded Lanterns.
How do we get there?
Yeah.
Because can we travel by... Is it safe to travel in the city? Like, I know on the outskirts we kind of walk around, but...
Well, no, but we have no other choice.
Should we take the sewers there? Should we...
I think we should stay on... I mean, we could use the buildings for...
I would say as long as we go
hiding.
around the market square and not strictly through it, I mean, we can travel pretty quickly, but the only thing I'm worried about as well with the Hooded Lanterns is, yes, we can go there, but I have a feeling they're going to be pretty suspicious as why we're coming in through the city and not from the outside.
I mean, I see no reason not to be honest with them.
Honest about what? Why we're here?
About how we're so awesome and we kick...
Yeah,
butt.
we're helping clean up the streets of Drakkenheim.
Yeah.
We did nothing wrong. We showed up here and took out a bunch of harpies in a tower, and we're using it as a little base of operations. And if they have issues with that, then we'll deal with that. But I don't see why they would.
All right. Okay.
We don't have to tell them everything.
Yeah, as long as we're in accordance with that, because I think if we told them everything, they'd be pretty pissed.
I mean, they don't need to know about other deals that we've made with anybody else or anything like that.
The Rat Prince, Oscar...
They don't need to know that over. Yeah.
The cannibalism.
Oh.
We don't need
Okay.
to. Yeah. They don't need to know.
They don't need to know about any of the...
So
We
is
didn't
that
eat
your
fish,
target
people.
then?
I think. Yeah. Are you guys okay with heading to Shepherd's Gate?
Let's go Shepherd's
Absolutely.
Shepherd's
Okay,
Gate,
so
Shepherd's Way.
again, looking at your map, it's pretty much a straight shot across Market Square, and then through the middle wards. So you could head directly there or through the city streets if you wanted to. I leave it up to you to decide how you would like to navigate through the city. With your vantage point, you can see the lay of the streets, and with Veo's expertise, navigating there is not going to be difficult. It just really is avoiding any potential threats you might encounter along the way, or confronting them head on.
Pluto, I know you're looking at me like you really want to stay hidden. You're so brave. But I think we should play into Veo's strengths. She's better in the streets.
Clunk, 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 clunk. All right, let's go.
I mean, you clunk no matter where we go.
Yeah,
the
I clunk
sewers
everywhere.
are also dangerous. Remember the cube? Do you remember the cube?
I don't remember anything about the cube.
Yeah.
Remember
We'd
I
have to
killed the
find
cube?
Fish people again. And...
You mean the cube I killed?
Oh,
Okay.
Let's go.
Is there any specifics that you want to lay out for your trek? You'll be heading across Market Square, and then you will pass via what you recall. There's an intersection of several major streets where the Grand Guild Hall is at the opposite side of Market Square.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you can either take the lower roads toward along the top of the middle ward, or you can take the higher. You can take Market Square, Market Street, until it intersects right up with Shepherd's Way. You can kind of see the way the roads go, right?
From my knowledge, do I know if one way is generally more dangerous than the other?
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah. Do I know if there's any specific monsters that lay in one area versus the other? Like Middle Ward versus Market Street? Because we know that Market Street might be monsters, right?
The haze is heavier along the northern path because you pass closer to the Mage Guild Tower, which is where another significant part of the meteor crashed.
Yeah.
So there's heavier haze up there. But from the south way, the Middle Ward is solidly controlled by gnolls as well. Like all that whole southern air, like that southern side through the sprawl through Temple Road, that is very much gnoll territory.
So we either go with the enemy we know or go with the enemy unknown.
The devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
True. All right. And we do know that we can at least semi-avoid detection-ish by putting urine on us. So, I mean, we got that advantage.
We always have the urine play.
All right. So I think we should head down more the southern way because there's less haze. It's less close to some monsters that maybe are going after that bigger chunk of rock. And then we'll be as quiet as we can, right, Pluto?
I'm gonna try hard.
As we can.
I swear. Okay. Hey, you can pass without tracing now.
Oh, we can, yeah. Oh.
If it's looking really gnarly,
Wait,
that'll definitely help.
Let me just check.
Or I could just take off my armor. Wait, I didn't say that.
It lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
How long would it take us to travel at my speed?
At your speed, navigating through the city with Pass Without Trace, probably no more than an hour.
Because we travel a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So I say we do that. Let's get to the bottom first of this tower, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Passing without trace.
Okay. You head down, you lower your ropes. What are you going to do about the ropes when you leave the clock tower? Are you going to leave anything in place to protect the site before you leave?
I definitely don't want to leave anything hanging so anybody can climb up. I mean, if
you can do all the heavy. You can do that work with your hook shot. When we come back, you could always hook shot up, and then we could tie off a rope each time.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I like that. Cool.
Okay, and we don't leave anything.
And then, is there anything we can use to bring towards the door to block it? Like any fallen stone or anything like that?
I can cast Mold Earth to try to jar the door closed once we leave.
I'm even wondering, can you fully close the door and have no door at the bottom?
I can move a little bit of dirt at a time.
Okay.
But I can make it so that it's not easy to open.
You can. This would probably take you about an hour of work.
Even if I just put some rubble, move
without
some rubble
the stairs,
in front of it.
I think we're pretty safe.
Yeah.
If you have to climb up,
I'll throw a bit of rubble in there just to deter somebody being like, "Is this door easy to open?" No. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Superb. So, are you going to cast Pass Without Trace?
Oh, I'm casting it.
Thank you.
All right. So, you make your way across the desolate market square. The overturned carts, market stalls, the old vegetables, what little of them remains, and of course, the corpses.
Kick the corpses.
If bodies don't decay, do the vegetables
Are
rot?
the vegetables look okay?
Or do they seem alright? Yeah.
Most of them have been eaten by now.
Oh.
There are little bits of carrots, cabbages, but very little remains now. There's so little food left in the city.
I pick
Very
up
little remains.
Boo.
Aw. I pick up a carrot and I just start like munching on it.
Okay. You pass by the central buildings of the market square. Like Slaughterstone Square, the market square is surrounded by the high Tudor-style townhouses and great shops all along the edges, with the big open-air market in the center. And there are this most central part of the market, which is actually split in half by several large buildings in the middle, and then another plaza.
Mhm.
There was a lot of trade activity in the heyday of Drakkenheim. It was very much a trade city. That was its lifeblood. As you head across Market Square, all of you can roll me a 6-sided dice.
I got a 4.
3.
3.
Okay. It's a quiet morning in Market Square. You navigate to the other side, following along, coming up to the Grand Guild Hall. The Market Square kind of comes to a point, and then there's a short street that opens up again, where there is a grand stone building in the same Baroque style of the clock tower. This one, it has these high arches all around it. It's almost like a oval-shaped building. It has pillared arches along the first floor, and the second floor is covered with this beautiful fresco that shows a member of each of the 244 different guilds of Drakkenheim holding the instruments of their craft. So it's almost like a Colosseum-like monument, but to tradespeople. This was the Grand Guild Hall. It has an old slate-style roof that's like a big dome over the top of it. And several of the windows on the second level are all broken through. The front doors are smashed. And even part of the roof is sagging and collapsing inwards. It's one of the largest buildings in the city, but not the tallest, because this used to be the place where members of all the guilds, all 244 of them, would come and argue over trade policies in the city. And of course, it's at the intersection where the Market Street, the Temple Road, Market Street, and the Shepherd's Way both meet. So it's a hub, an intersection of the city in many ways. You head south along Temple, outside the south way, though, that you take, the road that you follow, leads from the Grand Guild Hall to what is a street called Players Street. For this is where all the old theaters of Drakkenheim are.
I used to come here as a kitten,
You could afford going to the theater?
for a short time.
I mean, wait, I would know that you lived in the castle.
In Drakkenheim, the theaters were funded by the Queen. For anyone who could not afford to see them, you could only get in standing room only. But all the common folk could see theater for free in
Did I
Drakkenheim.
go to the theater?
If your father took you, you would have been able to see something.
Well, if he didn't take me, I snuck in with Veo
Yeah,
once or twice.
you were a little bit short at that time, so I don't know if standing room was the best place to watch the theater for you. Carrot Top.
As you head along the theater road, you can all roll one more d6 for me.
3.
1.
3.
1.
Okay.
Called it.
Here we go.
There it is.
You pass by a small square along the theater road where several old pageant wagons lay abandoned. They used to be one of the old activities that used to happen in Drakkenheim was that all the members of the guilds would perform excerpts from the Canon of True Law, which is the book of the Sacred Fire, which incidentally has over 300 chapters. And so every year on High Holy Days, each member of the guild would take a chapter of the Canon of True Law, pull out a wagon to this square, and each guild member would perform amateur-style theater on top of their wagons. And that was one of the ways that the guilds competed with each other, by doing theater. So there's several of these old wagons abandoned here. And they are showing very old signs of repair because in the center of this square is a small crater glowing with a purple light.
Got some delirium there.
I mean, we are going to have to meet up with River at some point to give her that information about Oscar. We might as well.
Great if I got a few
Question.
more snacks.
Is there such thing as too much delirium?
We'll just put it on your back. Don't worry.
Yeah, I can carry it. I'll carry it.
You can carry it, right? You're strong.
Well, just
Strong
make sure
enough?
it's covered. Just make sure it's covered.
Ah, he's got it.
Wrap it in a harpy.
Just put it in my my smuggling pillow.
Okay.
Before we get in here, let's.
It's got multiple uses.
Have we already? We've walked into the
Smothering, smuggling.
square, correct?
You have not walked into the square yet.
Okay. Undo the
This is
little
what you see.
Scouty scout.
Yeah.
Scouty Scout?
You can generally see about 200 to 300 feet through the mist.
Okay. I just want to take a second, and I'm like, guys, shh, and I kind of like put my ear towards the ground, and I want to just listen.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
13.
You can hear footsteps, and then as you pull your ear up from the above, you hear a chuckling laugh, that of a gnoll.
Crap.
Do we hear it?
Just Veo's heard it so far.
And I'm like, ready to fight?
Then you hear a few whips and barks as you hear many, many footsteps coming into the square.
I say we move into.
And you hear a scream, followed by some ripping and tearing sounds and the splattering of blood.
Did we hear that?
Are you ready to run?
Are you going to... Are you hiding now? Or are you in the street?
I think we should hide.
I think we should hide as well.
So me and Sebastian, I assume we're like waiting back,
Mm-hmm.
just hanging out. And Veo, you're on your own right now, right?
So I come back to you guys. Yeah.
I say we like slink into a ruined building and hide in the rubble and just wait to see what appears.
Okay.
Definitely. Because I've still got pass, so let's be sneaky about it.
Sneaky, sneaky.
All right. So we'll say this. Place the three of you in that ruined building right there. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's bring up the map. Our,
Veo immediately
our
on top.
nice board camera.
And what I say is just stay within 30 feet of me,
Okay.
and you'll still be stealthy, but just don't get seen.
Cool.
Do you want to be up there or do you want to be?
Probably down.
Okay.
It's your natural vantage point, though. We're all just peering over like the
Yeah.
rubble.
You're peering over and you've been heading in this direction, so towards me.
Okay.
We run into this.
And from the
building.
direction come several gnolls. They are laughing and hissing and barking at each other. And the first two gnolls you can kind of see past the pageant wagon. You can see that the scream appears to come from the fact that the two gnolls are holding two halves of a torso and throwing it between them and taking bites out of it as they walk forward. And coming behind them come two more, laughing with the lower parts and extremities of the poor unfortunate victim
Hmm.
of the gnolls.
Can we tell if it's male or female?
Can we tell if it's human?
It was human, but there's not a lot left to tell.
Okay.
The gnolls are laughing, and it looks like some of them might be carrying bottles of booze. And they're laughing,
Oh, no.
drinking, and alternating by taking chomps of the various arms and legs that they have. And as they do so, I'm going to have you all now roll your stealth checks.
You get a plus 10 because of your pass without
Yeah.
trace.
Plus 10. 23.
29.
17.
Okay. You crouch down, and Pluto, you step on a stick, which is silenced magically by Veo's magic, which is good. Because another group of gnolls walks down the street, almost coming the way from the north. There are 4 of them.
People need to clean up these ruined houses.
One of
There's
my
sticks
favorite.
everywhere. So annoying.
The gnolls, they look a little bit frustrated and bored, but they are being led forward by a massive 8.5-foot tall gnoll carrying a shield and a large flail. And the gnoll is barking at the other ones, and as he sees the others, he barks at them and kind of howls, jowls at them. And this group begin to converge together in the center.
Okay, maybe it would have been a good idea to take Rebel.
What will you do?
I'd like to wait and see what happens. See if they pass.
I see a great opportunity.
One of the gnolls in the other group is carrying a bag, and the gnolls start barking at each other. They kind of start waving, and they do a little bit of a dance with each other and hop a little bit because the other gnoll opens up a bag and dumps it out, and it looks like the dismembered bits and pieces of several ratlings. And the gnolls immediately start sitting down and eating.
Wow.
What? You want to go for it?
I'm gonna do the lean up against the wall and look at you guys like this. Get the daddy. We gotta get the daddy.
I think if we
Oh.
surprise them, if we get the drop on them and just really share on them, we might be able to take this.
Against my nature here. Trust you, Sebastian, to make this decision.
You do? I mean, I just want to fire spells. I guess we could also wait here and let them pass.
Let's wait a little bit longer and see what happens.
Okay.
Wait, big guy.
Okay.
I feel more powerful than I did last day. Yesterday.
Was it the night terrors?
The night terrors, they fueled me. I might have new spells. I don't know. We'll
I'm just
see.
like, wait for it.
The gnolls continue to eat and drink, and they're barking and laughing and making jokes in whatever their gnoll language is as they speak back and forth to each other. How long are you going to wait?
When we look at the gnolls, do they seem intoxicated? Does it look like they've lost a bit of their combat edge, so to speak?
Give me an insight check.
Drunk.
24.
They're probably going to be a little bit more ferocious while they're drunk, but they might be a little bit less apt to notice things. They're quite distracted as is.
Do you think we can take him out in a pretty quick manner?
You know, I'll roll a d6.
5.
4.
2. Okay. one of the gnolls gets up and starts walking towards your ruins. And as he starts walking towards them, he starts taking off his loincloth. And have you ever seen a dog walk like they've got to go to the bathroom? Noel's walking like that.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to get peed on.
And I'm just like...
But we already have pee on us.
Well, we did. Well, I guess, I don't know.
No, we didn't find any Noel.
Oh yeah, we
urine.
haven't done new pee.
And I just like, I point the way.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna. Have they moved closer together than this?
No, that's
No.
where they're all at.
Okay.
How far?
I am going to jump up. Oh no, I need a good dog pun. Pluto, before I jump up. Dog pun.
Oh man, I'm blanking.
Your
Okay.
That's all
your
back.
dog days are
Jump up.
numbered, and I cast hypnotic pattern.
You jump up, and your hesitation at not coming
Oh,
up with a
come
good
on.
dog pun, I'm going to have you all make one last stealth check.
Oh.
24.
27.
25.
Okay. Despite your hesitation to come up with a good pun, I will award you surprise.
Yeah.
And the gnolls will roll their initiative. Because they're quite drunk, the gnolls will roll their initiative with disadvantage. Oh, well, that doesn't seem to matter too much.
Oh come on.
Cool.
I don't have my spell templates.
Oh yeah, you need the
Oh no.
the,
Where are they?
the circles and the lines and the squares and the whodunits.
Triangles? No triangles?
Yeah, do you have any triangles? Yeah, you have a
Yes.
triangle.
Okay, what do we got? Pluto.
12.
11.
16.
So they had disadvantage on their initiative check, and only one of you managed to beat them.
That's right.
Well, maybe you didn't roll so good. Don't put that on us. Oh no.
Okay, that said, they are surprised. So, with our lovely tracker with Axe and Shield, we will have Veo, then our Knoll Pack Lord, our Knolls, then Polluto, then Sebastian. Okay. You all have surprise. Veo, you are first to act.
Okay, so I am going to start by using my feline agility. I'm gonna pop out behind Sebastian, and how far? Far enough away. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop out front of the building and quickly make a quick. Oh, sorry, Sebastian. Make a quick right and double my movement so I can get to the cart.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to kind of be partially covered, at least for now.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my Dread Ambusher to take my
3
attack.
shots.
So I get 3 shots on my first turn.
This is what a Gloomstalker does.
This is what happens.
And sure. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take my first attack. I'm going to actually focus on the big baddie right in the center.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I take my first shot with sharpshooter and 14.
Okay. Your arrow rings out and hits him on the massive pauldron on his shoulder with a loud thwang, but it does not penetrate.
All right. Take my second shot at him. 16?
This one, though, catches him right in the side. It's a hit.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, scrolling up and down here. 8, 10. Oh, sorry. That's good. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. So 14, 16, no, 18, 20 damage.
Okay. He
All the
howls with
maths.
pain.
All the maths. All right, I got my last shot.
Okay.
13.
As he doubles back in pain and grabs at the shot that hit him in the side, the last arrow whistles right past him.
All right. And I'm going to take my last movement with my doubled movement to get behind this cart.
Okay.
Yoink.
Okay. Pluto, you're up.
Can I squeeze past Sebastian here?
Yep.
See ya. I want to get to like right meow.
Okay.
Right, meow?
Right meow. And I'm going to throw. So I'm going to jump out, and I'm just going to launch the lightning javelin.
Nice.
I want to hit this dude. And
Okay.
so everybody in the line, I want these 3 to get hit by lightning.
Alrighty. So they all have to make dexterity saving throws, correct?
Yeah. DC 13.
The very first one manages, just as you leap out, he starts squatting down to do his business as you leap out, and it sails right. The bolt sails right past him, but the other 2 are completely zapped by it.
6, 12, 16.
Okay.
16 lightning damage. Zap.
To weigh in.
Oh.
And then
And which 2? These 2? This guy like.
That leaves them both bloodied.
Woo.
I'll mark that. Yep. Anything else?
and a 19 to hit the one.
The last one? Yes, it hits.
And he eats it for 11, 60, 22, 28 damage.
So the
And I yell, "Ka-cha!"
like a bolt of lightning, it crashes through the air, hitting him right in the throat and impaling him back against the pageant wagon. And in his throat, the bolts of lightning sail out through his body, and he continues to twitch and convulse as the javelin magically pulls itself out of the wall and flies back into your hand.
What? I'm gonna throw it again at the big guy. Not as a lightning bolt, but can I throw it again?
Sure. And the last one in the row is killed. Yeah, he's very dead.
A 20 to hit
That hits.
for 9 damage to the big bad boy.
Alrighty.
Ka-chow.
Sebastian, you are up.
I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay. Where?
It's a 30-foot cube.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do?
I don't see that.
I think you've got 4 tops.
Yeah.
Either those 4.
I'll take the most that I can get.
Okay, those 4.
Yeah.
Great. So I'll do the Pack Lord first. What's my saving throw DC?
It is 16.
Our Pack Lord fails. Woohoo! One of the gnolls, the bloodied gnoll, actually succeeds, and the other 2 both fail.
So these 3 are
Okay.
incapacitated. So
Yes.
take out the rest of them.
Okay. They see
Read
the
headlines?
the flickering pattern of light appears, and the gnolls, despite even the Pack Lord, despite being wounded, he turns around, looks up from it as he's like nursing his wounds. He sees it and he just starts drooling.
Yes, it's very beautiful. It's a whole bunch of colorful butterflies fluttering around
Nice.
and mesmerizing.
Okay, we go to the top of the round with Veo.
All right. I am going to use my bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
So I can move pretty quickly, which is nice. And I'm going to start by moving about halfway out here,
Mm-hmm.
taking my longbow and shooting it at the injured one that didn't get affected by
Nice.
the spell.
Nice.
That is 12.
It narrowly sails right past him.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to take another shot at him as my second attack.
Okay.
And that is for 16.
And just as he's counting his luck, the arrow collides, the bolt collides with him, and there's a sharp thwack as a pulse of blood rips out out from the wound. Roll the damage. Oh man, that's max damage. Oh,
14 plus 16.
Where does it thwap him?
So 30.
30 damage. So he turns to watch the first bolt just sail past him, and then he turns around and it hits him right in the jugular, and there's just a spurt of blood that flies out as he collapses to the ground.
Nice shot.
And then I'm like, okay. And then I take the rest of my movement.
Right.
Okay.
Well, not hide, but get
So the
behind
pack
cart.
lord is incapacitated and doesn't even get a saving throw to stop that. Thank you, Hypnotic Pattern.
Thank you, Hypnotic. Thank you, Sebastian.
Thank you, Dark Souls. Okay. So the knoll that was leaning down to poop is
That one-
very shocked and takes his weapon, pulls up his weapon, lunges forward as his pants are falling off
Uh-oh.
to stab at Sebastian.
Um,
He makes 2 attacks,
I have the high ground.
and he gets a natural 1 on the first attack.
Wah, wah, wah.
He-
I will give you cover from the other one, but he does get a 20 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. He deals a total of 8 points of piercing damage as he lunges his short sword into you, and I need to make a concentration check for Hypnotic Pattern.
17.
Okay, you're good.
nice. Good
The other gnolls. Okay. The first 2 gnolls here.
Tra-la-la-la-la. La-la-la-la-la.
Okay. 2 gnolls charge right at you, Paluto.
Hey, how are you?
Swinging their flails over their heads and their short swords. The first one comes right up to you. Wow, getting a 7 and a natural 1 to hit.
Okay.
As the flail just batters on the front of your shield
Kabang,
ineffectually.
kabang.
The second one comes around the side like a canine hunter, getting a 12 and a 9 to hit. Wow. So they cannot penetrate your armor for the lives of them. This last gnoll comes up,
I'm too wild.
leaping over the overturned cart towards you, Vale. Wow. What happened to my dice, guys?
Use it all on your initiative.
I have been undone. Yeah, that's
Maybe we'll leave
Dexterous.
in the night.
Now compared to dogs.
As the gnolls start savagely attacking me, I'm gonna pull out my. Well, do I need to use a longsword? I got this jab. Nah, I'm gonna use my sword, and I'm gonna start a whacking. I'm gonna whack the one closer to Sebastian.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big old, like 26.
Yep.
For 7 damage,
Alrighty.
and I'm gonna hit him again. And I got a big old 17.
So you attack the same one twice. So are you going for the one with the flail or the one with the short sword?
The short sword, yeah.
Okay, so he tried to come around, get around your shield. Basically, you just take your sword around the side and you thrust twice, stabbing him twice in the front. Both attacks hit and deal damage. So the second damage roll.
14 damage.
That you run him through and he's slain.
Yeah. And then I'm going to use my bonus action and push the other gnoll
Okay.
away from me. And I get a big old 1. So my strength check was a 5.
The knoll pushes back at you and stays
just-
where he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sebastian.
Okay. I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to cast darkness
Okay.
on myself.
Okay. A field of darkness emanates from you. To look upon it is to look like a horrible void from which none light can pass. What else would you like to do? That is going to end your hypnotic pattern.
Oh, right, because I can only
Yes.
concentrate on one. Can I
Are you
take that?
sure you'd like to do that?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I am silly and forgot.
Just yell
Okay.
darkness.
Yeah, I yell darkness. I cast. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to cast Scorching Ray,
Okay.
and I'm going to fire at the gnoll in front of me who's.
Cool. You are elevated, but he is engaged with you, so normally you have disadvantage on your attack rolls, but I'll say thanks to your elevated position, you do not.
Also, he's tripping all over himself because he's drunk and peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
16 to hit.
Yes, collides. Let's roll all the attacks, and then I'll narrate what happens.
Okay. 21.
Mhm.
And 18.
So you put your hands right in front of him at point blank range.
Now,
Uh,
if I kill him with 2, can I move my third hit onto
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
knoll? Okay, so yeah, he's tripping all over himself, and I finger guns down at him. And 8 for the first one.
Okay.
7.
He survives both too. So he's like reeling as you blast him with magic the first 2 times. The third shot,
You feeling lucky?
it's kind of like a haymaker. Boom.
4.
That slays him.
there it is.
Boom.
Whoosh. Nice.
Very nice.
And I blow the finger guns.
Veo, you're up.
All right. I still with Zephyr Strike continuing. Want to move away so I don't get any opportunity attacks, but I essentially want to go out and then in the building. But there's like a rubble hole here, so I can still shoot at this knoll. So I'm
Okay.
just grabbing that. I can't reach as far.
So you leap away from the knoll.
Ooh. So I leap away, and again, I take my longbow right at his face, and I try to shoot him. Ooh!
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think it happens.
That's a
critical
crit.
hit.
Critical.
that's crit.
So 14,
We should start getting like an alarm.
15.
The caravan horn.
Shouldn't have rolled this one. 16.
Okay.
Solid.
So you backflip. Are you going to shoot him a second time?
Yes.
Okay. Let's roll it.
So I shoot him a
And-
second time. Oh.
Okay, that's a 19. So it's going to kill him. This is what happened. So he leapt over the cart to get at you. He slashed you, you duck down, backflip up. As you're in the middle of the air, you turn around and hit him twice first in the head, which actually doesn't, its horrible headshot doesn't kill him,
Right in
even
the
though like
muzzle.
parts of his brain is coming out of it. The second shot, you run him through the heart and he falls over dead.
Ooh,
Yes.
wicked.
And,
get
and
you
both,
mangy mutt.
both Sebastian and Pluto saw all of that just happen, and it was very cool.
So cool.
And I wave at them.
Good shot. That was impressive.
So you have a small crater of delirium and 3 drooling gnolls in front of you.
There's
How are
still
you
one
gonna handle-
gnoll
Oh,
here.
there's still one gnoll left. I still have one. Okay, the last.
You're not out of it
gnoll-
yet. Come here, big guy.
Is he gonna? No, he's gonna keep going for it. He's just too dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he viciously and savagely attacks Pluto to no avail.
And then I'm gonna repost it.
'Kay.
And 16
Yep.
to hit for 9 damage.
Nice. That leaves him bloodied.
And then I'm going to start hitting him.
Yep.
I'm going to give him an old whack for 20 for 9 more damage.
Right in the face.
And then I'm going to whack him again for a 19 for 13 more damage.
So as this gnoll presses his attack, desperately trying to take somebody out, you rebuff him, slam him in the face with the pommel of your sword, and then come down, cut one arm off, come up, cut the other arm off, and he just kind of looks at you and bleeds out.
I'm going to kick him down. Kick him on the ground. And then I'm going to...
None shall pass.
because the big guy's dazed, I'm just going to slowly, and cool walk towards him
Okay.
as if there's an explosion behind me.
Okay.
And I'm
I
just
think we
gonna-
all should. We should just circle around him and then at once just. Yeah.
Okay. Sebastian, is that what you're gonna do? You're all gonna move up?
Yeah. I say we all move up, and I stand face to face with him. Vale, you want to come up?
Sure, I'll go on the other side of the crater though. I'm not gonna be right in splashing range, you know.
Okay. So you're all gonna attack once at the same time?
Yes.
So all of you can roll whatever attack you want.
Do we get advantage?
Actually, no. A creature affected by a hypnotic pattern can still kind of defend themselves.
I get 20.
I miss.
7.
Yeah, I only
Okay,
got, I
so-
only got 11.
Guys.
So Sebastian hits him.
Uh-oh. You're going to wake him up.
Kill him. He's bloody.
Yeah, he's pretty
Thought this
hurting.
would work.
He's pretty hurting from
It's a firebolt. by the
arrows
way.
and lightning and
And I
javelins.
literally I put my finger gun to his head
Yeah.
and I pull the trigger, doing 7 damage.
Okay, so that breaks him out of the hypnotic pattern, but
Uh-oh.
doesn't kill him.
Uh-oh.
You guys take him
Hi,
out.
big guy.
so he flies into a rage. At that,
Where were you?
I
I'm like,
missed.
okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, and then I fire,
And I
like,
draw
Pluto's
my sword.
gets stuck.
and takes his
My claws got caught on my bow.
double-ended flail and attacks Sebastian,
Guys, you were supposed to do it at the same time.
getting a 14 and a 10.
I cast shield.
Okay.
Yay.
And I'm going to hit him with Sentinel.
Okay, go for it.
So you finally get the sword out of your sheath, and I put up a shield just to deflect it.
And I'm still trying to get my claws untethered from my bow, being like, they're stuck.
18?
That hits.
Okay, for 13 damage.
And as he's flailing at Sebastian's defeating himself, as he's protecting himself with the shield, you bring your blade down, and it slices right down the middle of his spine.
Yeah.
Slain.
Woo!
And I
Oh, that was
I
close.
glare at Pluto. A little late on that one, bud.
I hit him in the shield. I just hit his shield. I was like, oh crap. I was like, oh sorry.
This was literally just an assassination. He was standing there drooling.
Vale
Vale,
missed too.
what's happening back there?
I told you my claws got caught in my bow, and I got
You did a backflip and shot a guy twice, and then you're
And then a stationary incapacitated target. We both.
I am ashamed.
Yeah, well, you got real close. You could have just stood away, but you got real close.
okay.
If I shoot my finger gun from that close.
Tell
of
you
course
what,
I'll hit.
I'm not doing point blank anymore. Pluto, you go up to the next one.
Let's just take it from here.
Look, I'm just gonna go, just start. I begrudgingly fine, and I just start swinging my sword. At the
Wait, let me take my shot too.
No, we're gonna hit them
We're
with the
going in
sword.
order, so it's Pluto. It's Pluto.
Oh, sorry, I thought
Yeah.
we were doing it all at once again.
Are you?
Just complaining. 17
That hits.
for 9 damage.
Yep.
And another 14 damage.
So this one, you basically get the first shot hits him in the neck. Doesn't go all the way through, so you pull back and do it again.
Go decapitate.
And the knoll collapses and dies.
And I stand over his corpse, looking at his friend.
Sebastian, what are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna go point blank. As a matter of fact, I walk
And
over.
stare him in the face. You're not going to just go up
No,
and
I
stare him
walk
in the
over and I
face?
stand behind Pluto. I'm like, listen, if this doesn't work, you're taking the damage.
Yeah, I'm here for you, bud.
and I'm going to firebolt.
Okay. It hits.
Yeah. Okay.
You hit the drooling knoll with a bolt of flame.
I thought way too hard about that. Let's do 12 damage.
That leaves him bloodied. And Veo?
I take my longbow. I'm not using sharpshooter for this one. 21.
That hits.
Oh, baby.
7 damage, and then take another shot.
Okay, so he's not. So take the next shot.
16.
That hits. That will kill him. So basically what happens is, Sebastian, you walk behind Pluto, firebolt the knoll. He snaps out of it, looks in the direction of where the firebolt came from, goes to leap towards you. Veo shoots him once. It doesn't kill him. He's like right at the two of you, and the second shot comes in, hits him in the temple, and he collapses down on the ground.
And I say, down, boy.
Told you we could handle that. No problem. I'm glad you guys were on the ball with that.
Hey, I did. I think we did fine, right, Vale?
Okay, the next time there's
I
a
didn't get
drooling target in front of you, you just like this.
Do you want to not stand in
Wait,
front of it
Did you get
and
hit?
look it down eye to eye? Because I didn't get hit.
I didn't get hit.
I didn't get hit. I didn't stand in front of the giant knoll. I didn't get hit. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, I stepped away.
Seems like a tactical error on your part, Sebastian.
When I counted to 3, and I'm the only one who fired.
I think you counted in Elven. That's why I didn't understand.
But I understand Hilton.
Yeah, you guys did it in
Okay,
Elven.
mistakes were made. We're moving past it. Nobody's to blame
I just
here.
need to get my nails done, and then they won't get stuck on my bow anymore.
Look, I was distracted by his nice flail.
Before we delve into the ruins again, I'd like to say a big thank you to Axe and Shield for providing us with the awesome gaming accessories we use. You can see the initiative tracker here, beautiful thing that you can order from Axe and Shield. He makes a bunch of other really cool stuff too, so check him out. We also use tabletop audio for the great ambient music you're hearing. And finally, 100 Years Bore for the amazing narration in our introduction video. If you're enjoying the stream and want to help support our work, check out our Patreon. You can find it by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
Yeah, we had a few people in chat asking about where we got the music from. And so tabletop audio is super awesome. It's great ambient music for your game. 10-minute long tracks that are completely free. So you just the website has the player built right into it. You can start it queued up, and there's a lot of cool stuff on there. So really check it out. Before the break, our heroes had crossed Market Square, past the Grand Guild Hall, and were heading down the Theater Street, where they encountered a square filled with old pageant wagons and a small deposit of delirium. Hiding out in the ruins as a group of gnolls took up their own break beside the delirium to eat. You popped out of the ruins, slew the gnolls candidly, after a little bit of a mishap with a hypnotic pattern, but the gnolls have been slain to a man, and you now stand in front of a small delirium deposit here in the air.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
We get to heaving
I can at least pick it up with my bare hands.
and throw it in my backpack.
Can I? Is it small enough where I can pick it up and lift it?
There are 5 shards
Cool.
scattered about the crater.
Amazing.
There's a just like the previous one you encountered, there's a heavy piece of the meteoric iron. The smaller shards that are in this one are easily kind of chipped away and broken off.
Mhm.
There's smaller shards, maybe about the largest one is maybe about the size of a deck of cards.
How big is the iron chunk?
The iron chunk is about 12 inches across.
Oh,
It's small.
Would I be able to put it in a bag and carry it?
Weighs about 50 pounds, but conceivably, yes.
Do you want me to carry
Pluto.
it?
Put it on your back, yeah. I'll take the shards.
I lift it up and I try not to struggle, but I struggle. And I'm like, Pluto, could you?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Put it in the bag. My bag.
You hoist out this piece of metal.
My dad's gonna want that. He might give us some money for it.
Yeah,
We like money.
This is a much more manageable size than the Rat Prince one.
Yeah, that one's big. That one we have to find at our mill.
We should just bring your dad there
That's
to work.
Like, get him to bring a wheelbarrow or something.
Just bring all this stuff, and then he can work on it.
Yeah, true.
And chip off.
All right, I take the shards in
Nice.
in the pocket.
We getting paid.
Yeah. As you hoist these out, the sputtering of the corpses of the various gnolls scattered about the square.
Should we throw the gnolls in the new corpse hole?
I mean, I don't want to touch them. They smell bad.
Someone will come by and have them as a snack. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
More gnolls. Do gnolls eat gnolls?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did
it's
any...
a dog eat dog world out here.
Yes, we found one. Yes.
Yes.
I want to check their bodies.
Okay. The gnolls are wearing scraps of leather armor, wielding crude weapons that they found that are rusted and broken. Several flails, which gnolls love using because they can easily fashion them with some chains and heavy weights. Most of their equipment is in very poor repair and condition. However, several of the gnolls had several sacks of meat with them.
And you use this like generically? Just
The
meat?
heavy bags containing the dismembered body parts that are definitely human looking inside.
Do they have anything on them? Like any pockets?
Are you going to trudge through the meat sack?
I'm going to take a look in the meat sack.
You should just dump it out.
Yeah, let's dump out the meat sack.
There's a mostly... It looks like the components of an entire corpse.
Is this all human meat?
Meat is meat is meat.
No,
This is where we have to draw the line. No!
No, I'm drawing a line here.
Okay.
I'm not eating human.
Yeah, but
I mean, yeah, no eating humans.
I saw you wink at me.
Yeah, she just
but
winked
the
at
one
us.
hand has a silver ring inlaid with amethyst
I pocket that.
Uh-oh.
Snipe.
and a coin purse with 35 gold pieces inside.
I'm going to throw it to Veo.
Gold? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks.
And then I'm looking for the big guy. Does he have anything on him? Like, do they look Are they intelligent enough that they write down things, or do they keep? Or are they're just rocking out eating people?
Gnolls are, from what you've seen of them and encountered of them, they're borderline feral.
Okay. I'm gonna get my javelin.
Well, thanks for digging through that human meat.
Yeah, you got a ring out of it.
It's true.
If you don't like it, then put the ring back.
What ring?
on her?
It's already in my pocket. Leave it alone. Well,
You can.
good job.
What about the play wagons? I want to look in the play wagons.
Wouldn't be terrible.
There's some scraps of old costumes that look like they're meant. One of them, looking inside it, it looks like there's a fake pair of angel wings inside.
You should take those.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be an angel.
Put them on. Put them on.
It appears
Put them on.
they're basically made of paper mache with chicken feathers glued to them.
I don't like put them on.
This is like community theater level
If we run into more gnolls, just convince them that you're an angel.
I get the guys. Help me put these on. I come out of the wagon. Put these on.
We help him
You
put
know, like
on
the
a
kids,
pair of paper
like,
mache.
that just have like the string that goes around under
Yeah.
their arms, just like that.
Yeah.
I am.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. I'm the winged death.
And also rubbing yours around appears to be as well a very crude looking devil mask
I
with
put
horns that's been painted red.
it on. I put it on. I put it on.
And there is a pitchfork that has been painted black inside.
I take it. Veo, you got to find a costume. This is
Theo,
great.
we're disguising ourselves as we go through the city. They'll think
There's
we're
also
merchants.
a tail with a pin on it that's like a little devil's tail in the cart.
Done. I am dressed as the devil. You're dressed as an angel. Veo, what do you want to be? Find a costume.
Are we sexy versions
like
or regular versions?
Kind of roll my eyes and start to like dig around.
This is a liturgical drama meant for family consumption.
Then
I think you probably find a copy of the script as well.
Practice lines with me.
Oh
Go.
wow, this is really serious.
Do I find anything in there?
Yeah, you find a wig, but it's one of those bald wigs. So it's the one that has like it looks like a bit of leather skin with some fur that's been taped around it, and a monk's robe.
Yeah.
And it seems to be
super disguised.
the play script seems to talk about a encounter that a early saint had with an angel and a demon, and the three characters are an angel, demon, and a monk.
You know what I'm gonna do just for fun? Is I'm gonna cast disguise self and make myself like look really fat, like I'm a fat friar cat. Just cause.
And are you wearing the ball cap?
And
I'm wearing the ball cap.
we're carefully walking down the street, holding the script, saying the lines from
Yeah,
the script,
doing the
playing
lines.
characters.
Oh,
We're not having a bit of fun. You know, you gotta have a bit of fun in
It's a
Drakkenheim.
deeply religious play that really quickly gets into some moralization and personification of sin and virtue.
I ad lib.
I have trouble playing my character.
The name of the angel character is literally Angel of Virtue, and the name of the devil character is literally Devil of Sin.
I'm Devil of Sin.
Angel of Virtue.
And I'm just like walking down the street. Like,
Friar Fat Cat. Friar Fat Cat, I'm the Devil of Sin. How's it going?
bad devil. Bad.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed this play.
Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like we're almost ready. We're almost ready to showcase
Opening
this.
night. Opening night. We can perform it in front of the the lanterns.
We'll perform. Yeah, we'll win them over with our virtuous play of. Is it like, would the is it like Sacred Flame level, like?
Yes, it's
Because they might love it. They might be
Okay,
like
the
totally
best
in
way
their
that
back
I can explain this is the canon of the true law is the holy text of the Sacred Flame.
pocket. Okay.
And this is literally the play adaptation of a chapter of the canon of the true law.
Hmm.
So think of most holy books and how exciting they are.
Mm.
Now the hit play.
Yeah, but we're going to spice it
Yeah,
up a
yeah.
bit.
We're gonna kind of.
We're going to add some pizzazz.
in all fairness, the canon of the true law, despite its droning moments, has tons of blood and sex in it. Like all good holy books, there's a ton of smiting of evildoers and a lot of violence in it. Even though there's a lot of moralizing,
Mhm.
it's a pretty grim book.
I mean, I'm happy with my role.
Yeah,
I
we
get
nailed it.
I get to be the devil.
I'm actually pretty happy.
So
with my
you
role,
continue
too.
to wear the costumes while quoting from the play as you walk down the
I think
theater
mine's like,
row.
stop doing that. No, stop doing that. That's my line.
I will keep doing that, Sir Angel.
Stop doing that. And then you're torn. What do I do?
Do I sin or do I or not?
To sin or not to sin?
Yeah, that is pretty much the gist of the play.
Oh, that was fun.
Am I pretty noticeable with my wings? Are they big?
They're falling apart as you walk down the street. They're not terribly large. They probably have a wingspan of about 5 feet.
Oh, I was gonna say, are they cherub wings or like full out angel wings?
Yeah, imagine just huge
I keep poking you in
wings.
the butt with my pitchfork.
Through
Hey, stop it.
holes in the armor.
Stop it.
As you continue walking along, you pass by several of the old playhouses and come through the district, through the various tenement buildings that the poorer people that lived in the city, the theater district, the road immediately north of it was very well known for brothels. Many
don't
of
think
the
they're open.
actresses and actors and performers that worked in the theaters needed to make ends meet by this means. So, you just have your evening of entertainment. If you like the male lead in your play that night, you can rent them out as well. That was the modus operandi here in Drakkenheim. But before long, you come out of this red light, the theater/red light area of Drakkenheim, into the interior part of Shepherd's Way, where you can see the edge of the street, the barracks, the city watch, and Shepherd's Gate. The barracks itself is a large set of courtyard walls that abut the interior side of the city walls. So the way that it works is on the north end of Shepherd's Way, there's the gatehouse itself, and then the northern gatehouse tower has a wall coming out of it that then has its own set of interior battlements and forms another courtyard with another set of towers inside. So the barracks itself is built that even if the gate were penetrated, the barracks would be a defensive formation. It's a roughly semicircle shape bumping off the internal walls, and there are two gates leading into it. A smaller fortified gate right beside the city gate itself, and then a larger set of main gates as well, giving the city watch two ways of getting in and out and also easily monitoring people as they came in. This part of the city was set up to easily allow the hooded lanterns during the heyday of the city to mine the gate. And the way that it's built is it's clearly possible to get from the barracks into the defenses of the gate itself. As you come forward, you can see that the pennants and banners of the hooded lanterns still fly over the walls. The hooded lanterns have a symbol themselves that is basically a hooded lantern with the beam lights coming over it that looks like it's being held by a dragon's claw. And then alternating with the banners of the hooded lanterns themselves are the banners of the city of Drakkenheim and the royal family, the Von Kessels, and which is the symbol of a dragon perched atop a high castle tower on a green field. The banners are looking quite tattered, like they haven't been well maintained, but you can see that the flags themselves fly at high mast. There are several soldiers patrolling the walls as you approach, and just as you walk out onto the streets and make yourselves visible, which I assume once you get, how well hidden are you as you approach?
We're showing off our
More
costumes.
importantly, do you have
Sure.
the
Yeah, like I
costume
think
still
I
on?
think we'd walk out. Like
I
we're
didn't-
not afraid of the hooded lanterns. We want to see them, so they want. We want
Okay.
them to see us too.
Are you wearing your mask?
I'm wearing my.
As you
devil
step
mask.
into the street, there is a horn call that blares out, and you can hear several of the hooded lanterns calling at each other and say, "There's people inside the gates! People inside the gates!" And there's a general commotion inside. And after a few moments, you hear a voice call down of a man comes up over the battlements with a crossbow trained down on you, and several others raising their crossbows from above, and they call down, "What are you doing down there? Declare yourselves!"
Good morning. Thanks for pointing the crossbows at us. We're friends of Petra.
Excuse me?
Petra,
Petra.
do you know her?
Petra.
I think so.
What is your business here?
I mean, this seemed like the safest way to leave the city, given all the other gates are kind of intimidating. But I mean, you seem a little intimidating right now, pointing a crossbow at me. We're just here to help. Ask Petra. We saved her recently. We're the ones who got her out of the rat's nest.
The man says, "Wait by the port gate. That way. Are you armed?"
Yeah.
Obviously.
Are you with spells?
Yes.
Why are you wearing those costumes?
Because it's fun, sir. And Drakkenheim needs more fun.
We're practicing a play.
Yeah, would you like to hear some of our lines? I am the...
No. Wait by the gate.
I actually shrink back down to like my regular size. I'm like, fun's over.
You know what? You'll get your chance. That was
Charming
really
group.
good. That was a really good story.
They're the fun police. Don't worry. Yeah.
A short time passes, and there is a general commotion within. And the gate opens. The portcullis raises. And the man from the towers above, and Petra, and another dozen hooded lanterns are on the other side of the gate as they open up. And it's at this point that you see the striking resemblance between the man and Petra. Both of them have light, kind of brown blonde hair, and they're almost the same height. The man, as you look at the two of them, Petra is either somewhat masculine or this guy is somewhat feminine in their overall face shape, and that he's a very slight man, and Petra herself is a very tough woman. So the two of them almost look like they could pass as twins. And Petra says, Ansem, this is Sebastian Crow, Pluto Jackson, and Veo Senya. They're the ones that saved me.
I popped the mask off finally. I'm like, oh, you recognized me even with the mask on. Good for you, Petra.
You finally decided to come. How did you get inside the city? She says as she ushers you into the courtyard.
We took the sewers?
She's shocked. She says, that's insane. You snuck into the city through the sewers?
It seemed better than trying to deal with the streets.
It wasn't very safe, so we couldn't go back that way.
As she turns to speak, her brother Anson speaks up and looks at Veo and says, I've seen you around, Kat. You used to hang out around here.
Yeah, I did.
Around that old clock tower as well, didn't you?
Yep.
Where did you get that? He
That-
says, pointing to the insignia.
Oh, come.
I've had this.
One
for as long as
second. I'm sorry about that. Just wait.
I can remember.
Did you loot that in the ruins?
What? I'm offended by that. This was my father's. This is mine. My right.
There's a little bit of commotion, and the other hooded lanterns are all looking at each other with this expression that says they don't know how to react to that. And Petra says, "Vea, you got to tell the truth. Where did you get that?"
I'm telling the truth. It was my father's.
And Petra sighs, and she looks at Ansem and says, "We need to take them to the commander. There's nothing. What are we supposed to do?" And they step aside, and you can somewhat overhear them arguing back and forth about this.
Hey, are you guys twins?
You say, interrupting them. Petra says, "Yes, Ansem's my brother."
Okay, cool.
They're twins, guys. Is there some problem with her father's insignia?
They look at each other, and Ansem replies, "The commander can tell you what the problem is. We're going to go notify him. You need to surrender your weapons to us. You'll get them back when you need them."
Fine. Only because I know that I've been with this troop before and I can trust them.
Okay,
They're
I'm
not
keeping-
barbarians
I'm gonna
like
keep
other
my
people
shield.
around here.
Are
I'll
any of
give
you
you
with
my-
spells?
Yes. I am.
We need everything you need to cast your spells as well. We don't want any magic going off while you're visiting the commander.
Fine.
Which of you cast spells?
I cast spells.
So do I.
If you do anything in the presence of the commander, we will kill you.
Okay. Well, why don't you take my casting focus, and I take the ring that I just looted off the body.
He turns to Petra and says, "Give me your ring, dude. They."
No, okay.
And he says, "Do they?" And they kind of.
You know,
step
never
aside.
mind. Don't worry
Say-
about
Wait
it.
a second.
You don't have a
They're not
wand,
gonna do
you
what
don't
I think
have a
it's
staff,
gonna do.
don't have anything like that?
I prefer.
Pew pew. What kind of mage are you?
Give him your staff.
Oh, I'm sorry. When was the last time you cast a spell, sir?
He kind of shrugs and says, "Seems like they really don't know much about magic."
Oh, so then I'm a much better mage than anybody else you know, so you can calm down with the attitude. By the way, her name's Veo, so don't refer to her as Cat anymore.
Fine.
Also,
Petra, it's good to see you again.
we're not really here to cause trouble. We're just trying to get out of the city.
It's fine. We're just gonna find out what you were doing in the city, though, first.
All right.
You've got a lot to explain to the commander.
Of course.
All right. He leaves, but Petra stays. She leads you into the central tower. Through the inside courtyard has been set up as a large training field with an archery range as well as a sparring field, and there's a large stables where there's about a dozen horses quarried in the stable as well as a kennel with several hunting dogs too. There is a small forge that a dwarven blacksmith is working at, and the whole area is really quite abuzz. Looking at the whole place as well, you can see that fortunately for the hooded lanterns, the haze is quite thin over here, and with the positioning of the way that they've built several dugouts around the area, and it looks like they've managed to make themselves a shelter from the haze here. Because the mist is certainly not, you don't feel it the way that you do even around the outskirts. It's much thinner around this area too. The hooded lanterns lead you into the central tower where there's set up a great hall with several large benches. They lead you through the gates And again, there's the banners of the city. Here, it's very utilitarian though. This hall, and Petra sits down with you, and another squire of the Hooded Lanterns comes and brings some water, a jug of what looks like it might be watered down ale, and some bread and cheese. And they say, and the man that comes up says, Petra said that we owed you a drink for saving her life, so we brought some of the old mead up from the stores for you all.
Thank you very much, Squire. What's your name?
He says, my name is Peter.
It's good to meet you, Peter. Thank you very much for the bread and drink.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for saving Captain Petra.
Anytime.
And Petra says, look, I gotta really apologize for my brother.
Yes, you do.
He has been going through a lot lately, and he's in a little bit of hot water with the commander, so he's kind of acting like he's got something to prove.
Interesting.
Are you related to the commander or no?
I have a theory.
That's a little personal, but yeah, we were adopted by the commander. We lost our parents during the wars, and once the commander returned to Drakkenheim, we were kind of taken under his wing. We're a big family here.
Yeah. I've lost my father too, so I know how you feel. By lost, I don't mean dead. I know he's still around. I'm just trying to find him.
Yeah, sure.
No,
yeah,
he's
the command that I know we've all lost people, and it's good that you hold on to some hope.
Of course. I know he's alive.
Hey, don't look at us.
No, don't look at me.
She pauses for a moment. You think that that's your father's?
It is my
That-
father's.
Okay.
I've seen him wear it every day that I was around him when I was young. I know it's his.
But Feo, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't want to like offend you or anything, but you're a tabaxi, and
Yeah.
your father was a tabaxi, right?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I guess I get it.
You should get it, considering what you just told me about how you were adopted.
Yeah, I do. I get it. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry. It didn't even occur to me.
Just because you and my father weren't blood doesn't mean he's not my family. And like I
Yeah.
said, the
No.
lanterns, if anyone should know that.
Listen, the commander's going to be here soon. So,
Anything we should know before speaking to the commander? Is he a generally well-tempered individual, or should we be prepared for? What do you think the best approach is if we're going to go converse with him?
he's been fighting a really long time. And he's going to figure everything. If you're hiding anything, he's going to figure it out.
You never hide anything.
He's a pretty professional guy. He might seem gruff and might really grill you, but he means the best for the city. And if what you want is to see the return of the old ways, to bring Drakkenheim back to its former glory, he's not going to have anything against you.
And of course, that's why we're here. That's why I'm here.
Awesome.
Good, I can work with that.
Okay. A short time passes, and
We show her our play.
yeah, she asks about the costume.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Everyone get used to
Put on my
places.
golf cap.
I am the devil of sin.
Oh, good.
I'm an angel.
Short while later, from From the spiral stairs off the Great Hall comes a broad-shouldered man, squinting behind gray eyes. He has a very broad, flat face. And he has long braided hair and a long, wild beard that kind of shoots out from the sides and down again before he's braided it in the middle as well. Just a massive mane of hair has kind of been all braided up behind him, although his kind of chops fire out to the sides. And his nose is broad and flat, and he kind of has that very big, large head that's high and broad, but those small, squinting eyes that kind of really, he surveys you very deeply with them. He unfolds his arms over his armor, and he cracks his knuckles. And as he does so, you can see that clasping his cloak is an insignia that is almost identical to the one that you are wearing, Veo. It has the symbol of Drakkenheim on it, and then a smaller crest that shows the symbol of the Hooded Lanterns, just as yours has the symbol of Drakkenheim on it, but then another pair of towers on either side of the crest. They're the same shape, the same make, they look very much the same. And he comes up, he sits down, he says, "Greetings. I am Commander Elias Drexel." Who are you?
So this is so.
I am
Just to be
Peter
clear,
Jackson of Cat.
this wasn't on fire because I was like, wait a second.
Commander, I'm Sebastian Crow. I'm from Emberwood Village.
And I'm Veo Senya, and I am of Drakkenheim.
He pauses for a moment. He pours himself some of the mead from the jug. Looks at the three, and he looks at each of you for an uncomfortably long time.
Is it my wings?
Why are you wearing those costumes?
It was just a bit of fun.
That's a great question. 2, 3, 4.
I am the devil.
I am the angel.
I just take off my bald cap and I'm like, no.
He slams his fist on the table and says, "If you're going to make a joke out of this, we're going to have a problem."
Joking
I
aside.
apologize if I showed you any disrespect, Commander. It's been a very long day. We found these costumes, and it was literally the only fun we've had in a while. So
We had to kill some gnolls.
yeah, we fought our way over here, and I don't think you can blame us for hoping for a little spot of fun.
Distractions like that in this city are how people get killed.
Well, we're still here.
You're lucky.
Thank you.
What were you doing inside the city walls? It is a quarantined area that is restricted to access to only members of the Hooded Lanterns. Why were you in the city?
It's restricted access?
Because I saw lots of other things in the
Yeah,
city.
there were tons of things in there.
Like gnolls.
That's beside the point. That's what we're trying to protect regular people from.
Yeah.
Why are you bypassing the city's defenses
I'm starting like looking at
and
that
getting
like
in there where it's dangerous?
See, Commander, the key word there was regular people. You've never met us before. We have saved one of your own in the past.
I've heard that. And you do have my gratitude for saving Petra. She means quite a lot to me, not just as a soldier. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Gratitude only goes so far, I guess.
But nevertheless, that was in the outskirts of the city. The inner part of the city is not safe. I don't even send my troops out there except on the most important patrols and scouting missions. Why were you there?
Veo, why were we there?
Well, first I want to point out that safety is relative to the people who, are encountered. But we were taking back my home, my spot.
You were a resident? You have a home in Drakkenheim?
Yeah.
Regardless of your personal property, At this time, the city is under martial law, and we have asked all citizens to evacuate it.
May have asked, but it doesn't mean we are evacuating. We were actually there to help take care of the dangers of Drakkenheim, so you put it.
With all due respect, Commander, we're not citizens. We're soldiers.
You're a Caspian.
Aye.
You are a soldier from a foreign land in the capital of Westermar. Why are you operating in this city outside of your nation's borders?
Well, not to get too political, but everyone I know is dead. And now these are my only friends. I work as I do not come here on behalf of Caspia. I come here on my own accord.
He's a great monster slayer, and
I'm
there be
kinda like
monsters.
their protection.
He killed a troll.
I've killed one troll.
And some harpies.
Yeah,
And some harpies.
and a cube, and I killed some gnolls.
He's probably done more killing than you guys have in a couple years.
The three of
I
us.
doubt that, but nonetheless, that's impressive. So are you here to work? Are you here to join us? I'm willing to overlook your crimes if you are willing
Oh, good.
work with us in a positive way.
All that we're looking to do is restore the old ways of the city. We want to see Drakkenheim reach its former glory.
Then if you're looking to do that, I can provide you with commendations, and I can induct you into the Hooded Lanterns, and you can work under my command directly.
I have worked
I'm-
with the Hidden Lanterns before, and it actually makes it easier for us to do our job properly if we don't
We're
join.
kind of like a separate sect of Drakkenheim.
Think of us like freelancers.
Or like a cool secret naval attack team.
partners.
We're your special
Because we
ops.
have access
Very
to
well.
a boat.
If you are unwilling to operate under the jurisdiction of the Hooded Lanterns directly, we have a few other issues to discuss. I would like to know where you acquired that veil.
Well, I told your underlings that I got it from my father. That's who gave it to me to hold on to the day I got separated from him.
And what was your father's name?
My father's name, I know his first, is Johann. You know that name.
Johann.
Yes.
Your father was the king's steward.
Yes.
Johann.
My father was the king's steward. Were you in the castle during the Queen and King's reign?
I've served Drakkenheim for well over 20 years, given my life to fighting it for this nation, and I count myself fortunate to have survived what happened to our city. This is the first time I have seen another insignia of one of the other members of the small council.
Well, my father was a very important man in Drakkenheim.
Where's your father now?
That's actually a question that I had for you.
That's one.
You don't know.
No.
Is he dead?
No.
Lisa.
And why did he give you the commendation of the city?
During that time, he thought it would be interesting for me to learn his craft.
But you had it that day.
Yes.
He gave you that.
He gave me this that day. What do you know about my father?
Your father was a good man. He was a brilliant man, but he had a tender heart. The last I know of him, if anything, on that day he would have wanted to know what happened to the king and the queen and their family. They were his duty as the steward of Castle Draken. But that day, no one could get even into the into the castle, and no one's been able to since. That you possess is one of the commendations of the small council. They were granted to each of the members under the authority of the king. And they are very important to the legacy of the city.
Do you know where any of the other members are?
No.
That I can ask.
Does that not make Veo, by wearing that, an important member of this city?
I don't know, and I can't answer that for you.
If it's a hereditary.
The only thing that I can tell you is, in my full honesty, each of the members of the small council swear an oath to never take into their possession the commentations of the other members of the small council or allow any under their command to possess them. So I cannot seize that from you on pain of the oaths I swore to the king. And if I believe in those oaths, which I do, I can't take it from you. None of my men can take it from you. If any of them try, they will be executed by me.
And by me.
Oh,
By me.
I
I'll
would
help.
prefer
mhm.
that you will leave that to me if necessary.
If necessary.
However, it doesn't change the fact that you possess it, and that normally it would require the commendation of the king or the other members of the small council for you to possess that. I wish I knew where Johann was. He would know better what to do in this situation than I would any of the other. I'm just a soldier, really.
My father always knew what to do in these situations, and I know he's alive. I know that he wouldn't leave me here. So I know he has to be in this city. And I will find him.
There is ancient magic in this city. My commendation gives me jurisdiction over some of the old magic that protects the city. Your father, as the steward, his command was over the castle and its staff. Your insignia could allow us to get into the castle again.
And what could that mean for Drakkenheim?
We could find out what's happened. If we control the castle again, we control the city. It's the heart of Drakkenheim.
What I'm hearing here is we're all after the same thing. We are working together, but there's no need to induct us into the Hooded Lanterns. We have things that we want to do, and we have our own way of going about things, but we are on the same side.
And what do you want here?
Commander, I suffer from horrible nightmares, have all my life.
They're the worst.
Yeah. I want...
Pillow smothering.
Show them.
Yeah.
Show her the. Show them the bed.
I'm going somewhere with this, guys. I one time, long time ago, about 15 years ago, had a nightmare so horrible, I woke up screaming on the streets of Drakkenheim in the South Ward. The dream was of a meteor striking Drakkenheim.
What?
Mike, are you do you have any time you want to eat?
No. When I'm done, I'm almost done. Can you please?
I left for the Amethyst Academy shortly after and barely missed the events that took place here 15 years ago. I've come back because I don't believe in mere coincidence. So, just like you said you want to get into the castle so you can learn what happened here. I have to know what happened here because somehow I feel tied to this place and the events that took place here.
There are many things happening in the city right now. And it may be useful for the Hooded Lanterns to have allies that are not entangled.
That's us. No strings, baby.
There are no strings on me.
I think there are just mutual benefits to be had here.
We can operate outside of the jurisdictions.
You're an interesting bunch. I must say, I didn't expect this from a bunch of people that my men were calling scavengers.
That hurts.
Is it the costumes?
He,
They probably make us a little
he
bit.
says
The costume?
to Peter, Peter, go to my office, get the paperwork and a quill, my seal. Here's what I'm offering you. Under my authority, I may grant you a letter of marque. You have the authority and the permission of myself, Commander Elias Drexel, to conduct business within the walls of Drakkenheim. I've only issued a handful of these. Don't lose it.
Along with this letter, does that grant us permission to use this gate?
Yes.
Thank
You
you.
may use... My soldiers here will know that you can use the Shepherd's Gate as you need to get into and out of the city. Are you residing in the clock tower?
At the very top, yes.
May my soldiers use it as a lookout point?
As long as they don't touch my stuff, especially my food. They gotta bring their own rations.
And also, don't touch the little robotic guys that are up there either.
Yep.
I'm studying them.
Like maybe third floor.
He looks at very puzzled with that and says, fine. There... Then we shall settle to business. I have a variety of things that I can ask of you, and I will tell you this. While you are working under the commendation of the Hooded Lanterns, you may keep 80% of anything you find in the ruins. The other 20% is to be relinquished to us.
In the ruins of the castle?
In the ruins of the city.
Oh. Okay.
Anything you find in the city is the rightful property of the good people of Drakkenheim. And we need it. We need to call upon those resources so that they may be returned one day to their rightful owners. You have a problem with this?
No, and I think to show our good faith, we'll take us the tiniest piece of delirium out of our bucket.
Please don't give us that.
Okay, fine. I'll keep it.
Anything we find?
Yes. 20% of the valuable goods.
Well, that was 20%.
You can give that piece of delirium to the quartermaster, and we will accept that as payment.
Oh, sweet.
How
He points. I'm not wearing gloves right now.
Oh, well. Tabaxi's, you know.
If you'd like to pay us in delirium, that's fine. We have some connections. We can sell it.
I don't know. That's fine. Yes.
when your commander, when are we released from this contract?
Good question.
When the city is restored,
Or
you die.
Or
we
Can we
decide
buy-
to stop adventuring in
may,
Drakkenheim?
may we buy out of our contract?
If you choose to leave the city, that's your business. But while you operate in the city, you will turn 20% of anything you find over to the Hooded Lanterns. in exchange for free operations within the city.
All right, but tools and weapons might be used to our advantage. May we continue to use and own and operate
You may
weapons.
take your pick of those, but if you do happen to find weapons, those will be considered amongst your offerings. Of course, let me put it this way. If you find anything special in there, you find weapons from the old noble houses, if you find magic, I don't care what it is, we need those things too.
Okay.
All goes toward the same fight.
It does.
If they could reclaim Drakkenheim, like, you know, they would
all right.
be like
I think it's a fair
big
deal.
Give me
officials.
sign my name on your scroll.
Now, with this, I think I have some work for you, if you're interested. I will tell you. I have a standing bounty.
Oh, that's my job. That's what I do.
For any rat folk, gnolls, or minotaurs you might slay. And I will pay you for each one of the heads that you bring back to us.
Shove them all down the corpse.
Yeah, we left so many heads back there.
Darn it.
Oh.
Should we go back and get them?
I do not believe at this time that you or us possess the resources to confront the castle yet.
Yeah, good choice.
If you do scout the castle, I would be interested for any report that you might have.
Mhm.
If you visit the crater, I would be interested in any report that you might have. But I have another pressing concern. The Silver Order of Illyria is camped outside the city.
Yeah, we saw that.
They number roughly 200, and we believe that they are making a march on the city towards Temple Gate.
Well, that would be good, right? It would clear out the gnolls.
It would.
But I mean to take this.
I understand that you got into the city through the sewers. Where? How?
We had help.
Where did you come in?
Along the river.
The river.
No, that's where we tried first, and then there was
No,
the cube.
that's
went
where we came in.
Drain.
Right?
Oh, yes.
The river.
No, we did go through there.
I would like you. Fine.
Digs her claws in your arm.
Please tell my scouts the way that you used to get into the city so that we're aware of it.
Okay.
I would like it if you could pay the Silver Order a visit. Find out what their intentions are. Find out what they want to do here. They won't talk to us.
Why not?
That's it.
Because they don't trust us. They're foreigners.
I'm a foreigner.
Well, fortunately for you,
Maybe I
you
can
don't
be
look
your-
like a conquering army.
I used to.
But you, no.
Maybe I can. Maybe I can be the grease between the wheels. I can help with your negotiations.
That would be interesting. If
For
find out
special-
what they're interested in doing here.
Yep.
If they're planning on some kind of assault on Temple Gate, we would like to know about it so we can make sure that that plays out in our favor and not necessarily theirs.
Yeah.
Now, in order to do that,
Ideally, it would be very good if they are planning an attack. It would be best for us if that attack fails but causes enough damage that we can seize control of the gate ourselves.
Basically,
now in order to do this, I've got two asks.
well, how many
Number one,
gnolls
can
are there?
we keep it secret, our names, that we are helping the Hooded Lanterns? Because that's going to be more in your favor and allow us to infiltrate in other places.
I recommend that you do keep it clandestine, that you are working for us.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
our mouth that I'm worried about. It's more or less your soldiers.
And I'm also a little concerned that we have this mark. There might be a way we can keep this off the book.
This letter of marque, I'm going to draft it same one that I gave to another group of Caspians that came in here last week.
Who?
It will look to my soldiers just like I have authorized you as adventurers to operate inside the city. There's a few other groups that I've given these letters out to. They won't have any... They'll just know not to attack you, accost you, or seize any of your goods.
Did you give one of these to a Lord Jupiter Jones?
Darn, I hate that name.
Yes, I did.
Don't trust him.
Is he doing good?
Did he look like he was eaten by a dragon recently?
No, he actually came in with a huge haul. It was very impressive, actually, how much he was willing to... I charged him the full price. I said I was going to take everything from him, but he offered us over 1,000 gold pieces for the letter of marque, so I gave it to him.
Wait, I thought I sent him to his... Never mind. That's great. Good to hear that there's other adventures in the city. Wonderful.
There's many more operating in the city illegally, of course. And we know that they're getting in through various means, but it has been useful to me to offer these to a few groups. And you're one of them. And to the rest of the Hooded Lanterns, that's all this relationship is.
Cool. I got one more thing that I want to ask for. If you hear, and if you can inquire, maybe under the table, about my father.
Veo, if I knew anything about your father, I would tell you.
But you have resources.
When I returned to the city, trying to find another member of the small council was one of my first goals. The only other member of the small council that I know of that still might be alive is the warden. But he's had himself shut up in St. Selena's for almost 15 years.
Hey, that's a better lead than I've gotten in about 15 years, so...
That Lucretia Matthias converted him. And he's been living as a hermit, basically. I imagine he still has his commendation. He was a good friend, too, but I haven't seen him in years.
Well, thank you for that. We'll see if he knows anything. Get me closer.
Actually, that's very true. If you do want another job, if you want to find out what they're up to, too, for me, that would be greatly appreciated.
Cool.
We have a lot of jobs that kind of are the same as what you're looking to do, so a lot of overlap.
Then this sounds like a very good partnership, I think.
Perhaps.
I can promise you that between you and me, you will have my honor and my word.
Thank you.
As to me as well, and I put my hand over the crest that I have.
He salutes as well and offers his hand to each of you.
I give him a Caspian fist bump.
Cool. You're welcome to stay here if you need to.
Okay.
Yeah, let's rest it up. Hang out with Petra.
Yeah, I'd like to chat with Petra.
Yeah.
She
And
seems
I
cool.
apologize for Ansem. He's a little bit hot-headed. I think he's been visiting a girl in Emberwood Village that isn't very happy with him.
Ooh.
Dirt, the
Ooh.
gossip.
Gossip.
And I'm still surprised you haven't recognized me from when our castle days.
I knew that Johan had adopted a cat. I never put two and two together.
Well, now you know.
Does anyone want to see our play?
Yes, we could do a play for the Hooded Lanterns. We've been practicing for the last hour.
I take the bald cap out again.
I'll
And a one.
And a two.
I'm the devil of sin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
let the chaplain know. And with that, several of the Hooded Lanterns gather in the courtyard for your performance of The Monk Caught Twixt Sin and Virtue.
Yeah.
The monk caught twixt vice and virtue.
Nice.
There we go.
And I make my fat cat again.
Do you all want to give a performance check?
Yep. How did we do, guys?
I don't know how good I am.
4.
18.
Hold on.
The rest of my wings fall apart.
18!
The
18!
There is an uproar of laughter at your performance, but a positive one. The Hooded Lanterns find it very funny, and they invite you to spend the rest of the evening eating and drinking with them in the barracks before you set out to your next objective.
Long
And
rest.
that's what we're going.
Woo!
Get all them splits back.
Fantastic. I think we'll wrap up there for the night.
Yes.
That sounds like a good place to
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With us giving a play. Why not?
I just hear
Alrighty.
ominous music in the background as we're like levity.
So that wraps it up for this evening. A big thank you to our cast, Kelly, Jill, and Joe, and Kyle and Clayton, Kyle and Clayton as well for working behind the scenes to help manage the stream.
If you're enjoying the stream and want to help support our work, check out our Patreon. You can find it by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
And of course, you can always find all the prior episodes of Dungeons of Drakkenheim up on YouTube for your prior viewing pleasure there as well.
And as stated before, big thank you to Tabletop Audio for the background music tonight. Amazing, great, free.
Yes, and to 100 Years Boar, who did the introduction voiceover. Thank you so much.
We use Terrain by Dwarven Forge, and all of our miniatures are by Hero Forge for the party, and then we use my massive collection of D&D miniatures for everything else.
Woo!
Thank you so much for watching. We will be right back at you next week. We took a break last week, but we're right back at it, and we will see you next time in the Dungeons of Drakkenheim.
As we can see there, we'll meet you up for Bodyguards, the next episode. Oh, but until then, thank you for joining me. This is free. This is Freenet Reunimentra, wishing you good fortune on the quest of life.